had the whole world at our feet. Watching seasons change, our roads were lined with adventure. Mountains in the way couldn't keep us from the sea. Here we stand, open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. We still hear you in the breeze, see your shadows in the trees, holding on, memories never change. Here we stand, open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. We still hear you in the breeze, see your shadows in the trees, holding on, memories never change.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another stream. So, we're finally getting around to watching these streams I missed. So, this is going to be day 2 of the Guerrilla Collective. Immediately afterwards, we're going to do day 3. And then afterwards, assuming we have time, I'm going to do the Upload VR showcase. And if we still have an extra like 30 minutes out of that, there's the Tiny Build showcase. That's only like 30 minutes or less. So yeah, we got a lot to get through, and then EA Play is going to be actually live instead of a friggin' VOD at 6 p.m. So yeah, let's go ahead and just skip through this and get right to it.
What's happening, everyone? I'm Justin Woodward, co-founder of the Media Indie Exchange, The Mix, and one of the producers behind the Guerrilla Collective, helping to organize the show alongside our developer, publishing colleagues, and our great friends at Kind of Funny. We appreciate everyone's support for the show and tuning in. It is going to be an amazing experience. But we also wanted to put a positive message out into the world during these uncertain times. We are all proud of what we've accomplished thus far with the Guerrilla Collective, as well as the message of being stronger united. But we cannot ignore
But yeah, I watched day 1 on my own time, since I missed that one too, and honestly, I liked the format that they did for this. Like, it was a bit long, whatever, but it was mostly good.
Together the Black Voices in Gaming stream with the support of our partners to share a positive message.
But yeah, no, like this one, day 3, and the Upload VR thing are all 2 hours long, so we're gonna be here for a bit.
Where you can donate to the streams. During the show, we will remind everyone ways that they can donate through the links below. Thanks for listening, supporting these movements, stay safe, and enjoy the Guerrilla Collective. Peace.
Okay. Here we go with the actual intro.
Welcome to the Guerrilla Collective, a 3-day digital
God damn it.
game announcements.
Lily, you couldn't have done that during the friggin' beginning.
Please welcome your host, Game Awards trending gamer, Greg Miller.
It's like, god damn it. It had to wait to do the alerts until right as the thing was starting.
Yesterday we ran you through more than 30 games, and today, well, we're not giving you a chance to catch your breath. We have ID at Xbox debuts, developer walkthroughs, games giving back, and so much more. In fact, we've gone ahead and bundled up today's titles so you can get a big old rock block of your favorite genres. So without further
But yeah, I've seen nothing basically, so I have no idea what's gonna be shown.
of world premieres.
Okay, exclusive world premieres. Okay, Ace Team. Never heard of that studio, but that logo was kind of cool. Towards Ace morphing into the actual symbols.
Somewhere out amongst the stars, there is a world teeming with life and beauty. But this world is dominated by a terrible alien force.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty cool effect.
Cylinder.
Wait, it's just a giant cylinder rolling.
Or where it came from. They only know that it cannot be stopped.
Okay, so the enemy is basically just a giant ass rolling cylinder.
Unassuming of creatures that manage to find a way forward.
What the hell?
To survive, they must band together. Mutate. Adapt. Evolve. Learn. And overcome.
This is weird.
But no matter what they do, one fact remains. The eternal cylinder cannot be stopped.
Okay, now we got giant naked people. Okay. That was definitely a trailer. Oh, ooh, you. Fight ancient gods, okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Wan Hasmir, game director at Metronomic. I'm very excited to be part of the Guerrilla Collective today to show you our new
Wazine's on real quick, sorry about that, but yeah. Eldest Soul, so basically it looks like a 2D Dark
indie
Souls.
rock band called Bunkbed Junction.
And now this one.
Power of rock to fight against NSR, a corrupt...
Fighting with the power of rock. Okay? I mean,
Right.
visually,
On our way to the next concert,
I definitely love this style. Oh, the neon lights and
you'll
stuff.
get to meet a cast of characters as you all of the battles in No Straight Roads are quite different, and you'll have to work out how to overthrow each main boss. But in the case of Sayu, how do you defeat something that isn't real?
Yeah. Okay. So the first one will get you in this one, just basically another skateboarding game. Because seriously, everybody's doing skateboarding games for some reason all of a sudden. This one I will say at least has kind of an interesting perspective because almost all of them have been kind of like the Tony Hawk games where like very zoomed out and stuff. But this is like a very close third-person view. It looks kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, considering it's called Skate's Story, that kind of implies there might be like a story or an RPG kind of element to it, kind of like sports story and golf story and stuff. What the fuck? Excuse me? What the actual fuck is this? I mean, badass fucking moves, but... This is so bizarre. Gory, cuddly carnage. What the fuck?
I'm Dave Goldfarb. I'm creative director of The Outsiders, yeah, I make games occasionally.
Damn straight you do.
This is Troy Baker. Troy is a legendary
God damn it.
video game,
Of course, Troy Baker.
film, and TV. What you're about to see here is an exclusive peek of some pre-alpha gameplay of our upcoming game, Metal Hellsinger.
Judge sent her here first time. Now she's come back for
I swear, does like every game have to have Troy Baker and or Nolan North now? Like God, they're in everything.
Coin the Unknown. Her journey to overturn the rulership of Hell. She has a number of tools to do that, and one of the main ones is the character that Troy plays, we're calling Paz, who's also sort of a weapon. This skull.
Okay, so it's a weapon that's a character.
Harness
Okay.
the power in song. In addition to being the
But it's music based. Okay, that's interesting. So it's basically kind of going off the like Crypt of the Necrodancer style of like gotta do things on the beat.
the whole thing.
I'll give it that. That's intriguing.
Actions on beat is rewarding in some fashion. It can increase your score for one thing, but also does stuff like build up your ultimate. Also, this is a weird thing, but when you're like kind of maximum performance, when the multiplier, the tier is at its highest, that's when the music builds and builds in terms of like aggression and fullness, because these are basically layered tracks. So the vocals kick in.
Okay. 10 out of 10. I'm guessing that their stream went out and because it's a rebroadcast on YouTube. Yeah. They basically just went black.
The media in organized
Wait.
kind of fun.
It's just restarting from the beginning?
But we
What?
also wanted to put a positive message out into
Okay, they definitely fucked up.
Coin the Unknown.
Let's see.
So this sort of
Nerva, otherwise known as Divine.
the whole thing, but
Let's see, where were we
its
here?
highest. That's when fullness. 'Cause
Yeah, about here.
But I remember when you first talked to me about it, you're like, so we're going to have this mechanic where we're using music. And I was like, oh, cool. And I didn't understand at first what you meant by that. And it wasn't until I actually saw the gameplay. And I almost said, like, dude, that's kind of cool how it actually matches up to where it's like in time. And you're like, yeah, that's the whole point of the game. And I was like, oh.
yeah, that's it, dude. Just wake up.
Oh! God damn it, Troy.
There's a certain rhythm to the way that we play anyway, so leaning into that and creating a mechanic around that, to me, was like, well, yeah, it's what I already do. It's that level of emergence that good games give us when they go, we're going to take what you already want to do and we're going to build it out and allow you to do more of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a flow thing. I think when I was thinking about the game, 4 years ago, when it was just a concept, I was like, oh, it would be cool to do something, because I was playing, I don't remember what I was playing, but I was playing something and listening to Meshuggah and killing stuff.
Meshuggah, of course.
This is cool.
What I appreciate about this is that, yeah, you've got this cool twist and mechanic as far as like the rhythm and the I don't know, how do you want to frame that? It's like the rhythm and the wreckage, you know.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But it doesn't feel tacked on because it feels endemic to the world because of the way that, and I don't know which came first. It sounds like the mechanic thing came first, and you kind of built the world and the character around that. But it feels like it makes sense why there's a rhythm as opposed to, okay, I just have to have a rhythm. Because there's always that weird, and we always employ this phrase, but ludonarrative dissonance, where it's like, well, that I get that the world and the character's trying to do that, but there's actually a big disconnect between the world that you're presenting me with and the task that you're giving me to do inside of that world.
Right.
So this, to me, was like, oh, I understand this is who she is, and this is why also she, vis-a-vis, I am a badass if I continue to do this so well. And it's just that even like the UI of it, there's so many things that are encouraging me and rewarding me for being a badass.
The game came out of like I knew that I wanted to do that rhythm thing, but then the character of the unknown, like immediately, sometimes you just know. And it hasn't happened to me very often.
So, would you say the unknown is kind of still? That's the first draft that stuck.
Honestly, I think they're spending a tiny bit too long on this game, but
wow, that's
whatever.
Awesome.
It's dumb, but as soon as I wrote the name, I wrote the unknown and went, "That's it."
Wow.
And then everything else kind of worked after that. The time between you going, "That's it," and actually making it work is usually an extended period of suffering.
Visions come to prepared spirits. To me,
maybe
that's not just like, oh, I just had this.
Also,
idea.
damn, they got a really long beat
all
streak.
The years that you've had as a dev, working and understanding character, it has put you in a place to go, here it is. It feels momentary and it feels like it came to you almost as a vision. But it's actually all of the years that you have spent
suffering and failing,
developing and understanding and world building.
Unknown takes the house.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff, like the way that the music wound up happening, like, and being this crazy dynamic, layered thing, you know, all these vocals come in and stuff, that actually came a little later. That was not even something that we thought we could get to work. But the audio team, of course, is a bunch of wizards, and then the artists themselves are god tier. So, yeah, we definitely...
I mean, hey, I guess good thing I didn't stream this live, because then I would have had to sit through all, like, the first 18 minutes again.
I don't know how quickly you assembled this team, but now you've got all of this that's kind of coming together to a thing, and you actually can now pick up a controller and now play. Like, seeing it become tangible has got to feel great.
It is, but I've just been working on this thing for 10 months or so, I think.
Dang, only 10 months?
It was just something in the back of my head.
Actually, pretty damn good for only 10 months.
You know, and Darkmoor didn't work out, and then I was in this place where it was like...
Like, this seems like it could have easily been, like over a year.
I think here, let's give it a shot. And then, luckily, the team was really good. Basically, they made the best prototype I've ever seen in like 2 or 3 months. And it was really clear, like there was something there. And I think everybody just kind of placed their bets that we would be able to figure it out because it's new. Like, nobody had ever made anything like this of any of us before. We knew how to make shooters, so that's kind of where we landed. Make sure that the shooting is good. Make sure that the movement is good. And we'll figure out the rhythm stuff. Uh-oh, it's time for the actual boss battle, who will feature Jen Hale. So the Red Judge, what can be said? Well, I mean, I don't want to give anything away. However, she is...
I mean, you already gave quite a bit away.
The immovable wall to the unknown's unstoppable force, if you will.
Hey.
Yeah.
Joseph Campbell is just applauding you.
Yeah,
Right
he's exactly. Oh, don't. Anyway, so she's bad news, and she and the unknown have some kind of history that is, or it's unknown. No, I'm joking. But she's the primary enemy for the player, and features prominently in all of these. Kind of all of the hells and all the progression and so on. So don't want to get on her bad side. And I'm sure Jen Hale will be happy to talk about her at a later date.
Jen Hale, for all fans of Mass Effect, and this is, by the way, not hating on male Shep, but femme Shep is the way that I play Mass Effect.
No, for me too.
Oh my god.
It was something new and fresh inside of that genre. And just her performance was like, man,
this is like the most casual conversation ever.
Hear her play to juxtapose
Just
that.
like two freaking nerds geeking out over games while their new game plays in the background.
Immovable force is like, yes. The nerd in me was like, yay.
Yeah, no, it's good. And she's really funny, but she does all these like voices and stuff on the whenever we were doing sessions.
I've heard. I would never guess that was Jen Hale, and cute little character voices.
That's the one. Yeah, she would do the cutesy characters, and I was like, what?
I have no idea that came out, but her creature sounds are just amazing.
I should have asked her to do creature sounds. I
I
would have called her up and be like, so about these creature sounds that Troy's been talking about.
This game, every step of the way, I've just been constantly impressed and excited to not only be a part of this game, but for the date when I can actually finally sit down, pick up the controller, and actually play this game.
When is that? Oh wait, I know. It's gonna be 2021 at some point.
Okay, so sometime next year.
This year, and let us celebrate this game.
Seriously, let's just anything to get out of this year. So yes, when we exit this year, your present hopefully will include a vaccine and the release of this product. So
that'll be a hell of a collector's edition, by the way. If you get the collector's edition that also comes with the vaccine. This game will literally save your life.
Oh my god. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, Metal Hellsinger. That's actually quite a freaking list, and no wonder freaking... Like, that sounded familiar. Fucking Trivium. And because I know Mr. Sword listens to that a lot.
This goes out to all you video gamers and video game fans and video game developers and video game makers and video game enthusiasts and video game rampoobahs and video game curious people out there, man. Thank you so much, number one, for supporting my game, Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl. I'm here to talk about 2D games, kids. Two-dimensional games. They got the one-dimensional person to talk about two-dimensional games. I grew up with games. I'm an Atari 2600 kid, played a lot of Pitfall. I love my side scrollers and whatnot. Once we entered the age of the 3 dimensions or the FPS, like that was too big for me. It was like taking acid and seeing the universe. Way too big for me. Now I was cool with side scroller, but people stopped making that. Lo and behold, they didn't, because in the indie game community, they're still making side scrollers, just like Interbank made our Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl and stuff like that. So I support you indie game developers out there. Thank you for everyone who's still supporting games and whatnot. And let's be honest, that's everybody, particularly at this time and whatnot. I'm here to drop a bunch of 2D titles on you. And
definitely not the person I would have picked to present stuff, but
We're gonna show you the trailer for our forthcoming video game, Jay and Silent Bob Chronic.
But I mean, hey, I definitely agree with what this person's saying. Though, like, indie devs make a lot of stuff that people just don't make anymore usually, and it's like I prefer those style games. Like, I love 2D games, I love side scrollers, that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I can deal with 3D stuff, but like, I definitely prefer like 2D games usually.
Watching. Thanks for being indie game developers and
Why I love indie games so much.
Developers and game fans. Thank you for making creative things, the creative choice. Two paths in this world, destruction and creation. All of us here choosing creation, even though we play games about destruction. Without further ado, here's a game about destruction. Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic Blunt Punch.
Exclusive. Yep, gotta have the world premiere or exclusive voice. Oh, that music already. Okay, so this is basically like a Streets of Rage style game. Beat 'em up. Okay. I could definitely get behind the soundtrack though. Not the kind of game I would play, probably, but...
Follow me, my dear. The creatures of darkness come for you. They prey on thy flesh and soul.
Okay.
I have witnessed such horrors.
Okay, Vigil. Oh, it's not... Nah. That one's kinda...
Hi, Chris from the 30XX team here.
Okay, yeah, this is basically Mega Man.
Ace, the War Relic. 1,000 years have passed, and Ace is back with some new tricks.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of people said, like, they played the demo of this game and they just kind of like, eh.
His styles include attacks, defenses, and movement tech, so Ace has an answer to pretty much any sticky situation. For example, with the Dolomite Link here, Ace can launch himself onto enemies, exploding and getting a jump boost.
Like, it's definitely not a bad game, like, it's nowhere near like a Mighty Number 9 kind of situation, but it's just,
it also works
nah.
on stage objects. With his Zen Ascent here, Ace has a flaming uppercut that he can use in midair for a little bit of extra height, and his Raijin call lets him call down the lightning from above and then shoot it right back out. Unlike Nina's energy, Ace's style bar recharges quickly, so you don't really have to worry about conserving energy. Ace's new systems have been a ton of fun to build, and I hope you're as excited to try them out as I've been designing them. For more info, check out the Discord and Steam page info in the end slate. Thank you so much for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and play video games.
Exclusive.
Okay, we got another exclusive here. Okay. Well, this is definitely an interesting visual style. I'll give it that. Didn't really do a good job of showing off what the actual game is, even though, like... Well, this is cute already. Huh. Okay, that's intriguing. And now we got skulls, I guess. Okay. What the? God damn it. Are you seriously doing this? What the hell? What the hell was that animation sequence? Okay, this game is already pretty hilarious. So it seems to have a very much emphasis on like a rebound kind of mechanic. Okay, this looks like a really fun multiplayer game. Kicking butts never kick so much ass. What a tagline. Huh. This is interesting, variety-wise. It's like top-down to 3D to side-scroller to airplane combat. Huh. Huh. Demo now. Okay.
Speed limit looked awesome. Anyway, let's go from that frantic, fast-paced, crazy action to something a bit more subdued. A thinking person's pair of genres, if you will. Yes, I'm talking about plotting your move based on your opponents and trying to romance a character through your wit and determination. Let's look at some strategy games and RPGs.
Exclusive.
Strategy games, RPGs, okay.
Welcome to your island resort. A perfect getaway to while away the hours without a care in the... Oh, wait. No. This is Evil Genius 2, and this is a mere cover for nefarious world domination. Now,
okay, so I'm pretty sure this was a trailer we already saw.
For a few villainous announcements, let's go on a tour of the world's first gameplay trailer that was unleashed yesterday with lead designer Rich Edwards.
Ah, yes.
Is Evil Genius 2. It is.
I forgot that.
Premier world domination.
I'm like always seen it before, but no, that was when I was watching day one on my own time. So fair enough.
The lair is made up of many different kinds of rooms, from the inner sanctum, where the genius will be plotting their next move, to the barracks, where the minions can rest and regather their strength for the next assault, and the laboratories, where mad science will take place on a daily basis.
Ooh, so who are these guys? Are we in control of this lot?
They're your workforce. They're the people who obey your every whim. You tell them what you want done and they will do it. So if you want a new room in your lair, you tell them where it should be, what size, what it should look like, the things it should have in it, and they will go and do it for you. We're using something we call the shoot them you idiots paradigm, where you as the genius are focused on the big picture stuff and your minions worry about the details.
I like the idea of having minions, but why are they so essential here?
Well, the genius isn't going to do everything themselves. They need people to do things for them. For example, it's very rare to see a genius get so hands-on in their plans, and instead rely on a vast network of mooks, goons, thugs to do these things for them.
So, for fans of the original game, do we have any new types of minions?
There's a few remixes in there that I'm sure eagle-eyed fans will spot if they watch the trailer closely. There's a whole bunch of minions that we are actually bringing back from the original.
So henchmen seem a bit more important. Who have we got here?
They are your upper class criminals and they serve you directly. So whilst a minion will go away and do something for you, a henchman you can reach in and give them specific orders. Go and kill.
Yeah, had to just quickly do it, son, because basically I get this like the stuff I drink, whatever. I get like free codes to drink it occasionally.
We have got.
Well, it's been out of stock, and I've had codes to redeem, and I've been like, and apparently they finally just put it back in stock. So finally, after a month of like waiting, I could get my damn code redeemed.
Their criminal empire. As the genius is up to show them who's boss and make them fall.
And just in time, the new flavor comes out in like a week.
If you want something done right, you send a henchman to go and do it. We're giving the player a greater measure of control over these characters, and that includes being able to use their special abilities.
Well, speaking of people entering the lair, it's time for the seriously satisfying bit. These are traps for secret agents when they get into your lair, right?
Yes, they are. We showed off a few last year. We showed off the fan trap, the shark tank and the laser wall, but there's 3 new ones being shown here. This year we're showing off the fan trap in-game and also the boxing glove in action. If you look carefully, you can also see a large fake safe designed to frustrate thieves and an array of poison darts. Players will be able to chain these however they want to create unique trap combinations that really destroy any agents who come hunting through their lair.
So for fans of the series, this is actually the return of Maximilian as the evil genius?
Yes, it is. This is Maximilian. As supervillains go, he's pretty much the gold standard. We've also brought back Red Ivan, who's a henchman in the first game, given him a bit of a promotion, turned him into a genius of his own right, and there's some extra new blood in there too. We have 2 of the geniuses who we'll be talking about at a later date.
Ooh, intriguing. Speaking of intriguing, doomsday devices. What can you tell me, Rich?
I mean, what's a villain without a villainous plan? Every villain needs a doomsday device, and you can't really call yourself a villain if you don't have one. Each genius has their own doomsday device, tailored to their own unique playstyle. We'll be talking more about those in the days to come, but they each have their own distinct power, and every time you fire it at the world, you'll be making a ginormous impact.
Thank you. So that's everything you need to know about taking over the world in Evil Genius 2. Now, it's time for Rebellion's own evil genius for a development update.
Welcome to Evil Genius 2 World Domination. I'm excited to tell you that the original composer James Hannigan of Evil Genius is returning to the same duties on Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
Thank you, Jason, and hello. My name is James Hannigan. You may have heard my music before, within series such as Harry Potter, Command & Conquer, Dead Space, Theme Park, RuneScape, and of course, the original Evil Genius. I have created
God, this guy.
Stylish soundtrack for Evil Genius 2. Here,
they're really trying to hammer home the whole evil genius part. Yeah, basically just sounds like generic, like, spy kind of music, so,
you, Jason.
All kind of interests you.
Coming up soon on the Rebellion official Twitch stream is more exclusive content. There's more coming on the run-up to the release of the game. There's going to be some free content. For the
I mean, I guess it would make more sense if I said you kind of interest me instead of I'll kind of interest you, but whatever.
Follow more shenanigans as we build up to the release of the game. Follow us on Twitter at Evil Genius. Follow us on Facebook, Evil Genius Game. And finally, we'll be ending with the closed beta, which should be very exciting before the game release. Before you go, I have a couple of missions for you. First of all, don't forget to add Evil Genius 2 to your Steam wishlist. Secondly, for free content, sign up on evilgeniusgame.com. And now we return you to your non-evil, normal scheduled broadcasting.
Okay, so we got a farming style game. By the looks of it. Okay, well it's making wine, so winery, but yeah. It's one of those chill like games. Okay. Simulation stuff. Yeah. I apparently cannot talk.
We have to nuke the poles, Amy.
Well, that's a way to start the trailer.
Could be shortened by years. It's worth
We have to nuke the poles.
I'm concerned that if we do this, there may be uncalculated consequences for the.
Okay, we're all Fury. Yeah, they make
We live
good
on
shit,
Mars,
so.
Amy. What could be riskier than that?
Hopefully nothing.
Okay.
The nuclear bombs are working. The ice caps are evaporating.
Future generations will gaze at the Martian sunset upon a blue ocean. I can't believe it.
Only if the temperature is high enough, Elia. Mars's wilderness won't give up as easily.
Then let's occupy the rest of this rock.
You're trespassing.
What's happening, Amy? There was an explosion and the lights of what models are on fire.
Desist now.
I'm losing control.
What the hell?
Mars, or suffer the consequences.
Okay, well, that definitely took a turn I was not expecting. Okay. Okay, so yeah, another card game thing. Kind of like Slay the Spire, it looks like. So basically, it seems kind of like Slay the Spire meets like Advance Wars or Fire Emblem. What a name! Floppy Knights. On the floppy disk. Okay.
Exclusive.
Blood and gore, language, sexual themes. Okay. And this is God. Baldur's Gate 3, right?
For them, amidst the ruins, deep beneath the sands, where powerful secrets of an ancient Rivellon lie. Powers of forgotten gods, corrupted kings. Dangerous, yes, but powerful? Oh, most certainly. Fortunes have been forged and ruined with their might. And those who dare to face the bearer of such powers, they...
And here we are, reward code.
Have you come to claim the true power of the armor?
Captain Sex-Zapper, slaver of the seas.
Servant of the Source King. I seek my fortune, my glory.
I am no.
Okay, it might not actually be Baldur's Gate 3. It's the same studio, but concerning it's saying DLC and the game ain't even out yet. I'm guessing it's probably like one of their older games getting updates.
The hidden relics of Rivellon.
Okay, yeah, Divinity, yeah. And they're showing a freaking manga at a game thing. Okay. I guess. Okay, world premiere.
people trash. Welcome to the Midnight Stress Session.
What is this?
2, 1. Start again!
Huh. I mean, I kind of like the style. Okay. Sad stuff. God, this animation though, holy shit. What the heck? Okay, that looks interesting. I mean, the game definitely doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as the animation, but holy crap, that definitely looked interesting. And now we got this freaking bop of the song and trailer. Wait, wasn't there already a game called Read Only Memories? I think I might have heard of that. So like maybe this like a sequel. Or
one of my favorite RPGs ever, Persona 4 Golden, is back and now on PC for the first time ever. Actually, it's Persona's first time ever on the PC, and it features.
You already announced this on day 1, Greg. Why are you talking about it on day 2?
The gameplay looks smoother than ever. In Persona 4 Golden, you play as
and this ain't an indie game, and this is an indie showcase.
Murders, just like all of us. After he discovers the mysterious Midnight Channel on TV,
God damn it, Greg.
The backdrop of the countryside in Japan. The entire story is just about the bonds of friendship.
So in case you don't know, Greg of Kind of Funny, who's talking.
Protect
He's like the guy who basically was always talking about the Vita, even if nobody else was. And this was like the best game on the Vita, so of course he won't shut up about it.
Hey everybody, I'm Northern Lion, and I'm excited to be introducing for you a crop of brand spanking new games. You know, as a YouTuber, I've long held the belief that really the only reason I'm able to do my job is because of the hard work of the talented folks who present their games at events like this. They spend months or even years of their lives locked in their office.
Okay, so about halfway through.
Stuff like design, code, art, community, QA, and so on. And then people like me come in, and for 30 minutes we play it and go, it's good. You know, we have it really easy, and we have it easy because of the hard work of people that are presenting their stuff today. So, of course, I jumped at the opportunity to come in and help and introduce the games. And secondarily, I want to encourage you, if you like what you see today, tell the people who made it that you like what you saw. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. For now, let's check them out.
Okay. Huh. Got that ragdoll physics. Yeah. Midnight Ghost Hunt. Huh. Okay. So it looks like a multiplayer game considering they're having an alpha test.
World premiere.
Okay, here we go, another world premiere.
I'll make this quick.
Okay, so we got a fighting game. Got those hits at, like those, like, damage noises. Just the grunts, like, ugh. Like, definitely not the best sounds. I'll give it that. But, yeah.
Watermark slash. I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah, definitely not interested in that one, but nah. But that's I was like, is there no sound? Like, yeah. Very quiet start to the trailer. Yeah. 8-player party game. Don't even have 8 people to play with, so. Okay, yeah, I've seen this game before. I'm pretty sure it's also in the Steam game demo thing.
Every day is something new. When my day begins with you, we've got everything we need. As long as I've got you and you've got me. If you're down and need a friend, I'll be there till the end. Through it all, I'm by your side. Whatever comes our way, rain or shine. I just want to stay in with you.
Okay, exclusive.
Exclusive.
Okay, what is this game? Considering the movement of the camera, this seems like it might be a VR thing. Because it's just got that very unsteady look to it. Okay, or maybe not. Okay, why is there just suddenly a bunch of school buses? That's kind of a weird thing to have out of nowhere there. Just a bunch of school buses in the middle of nowhere on what looks almost like an abandoned island. Okay, and a coffin. So this feels like might be some kind of like dream or something. Person like reliving old memories. Huh. Yeah, giant boat in the air. Huh. Okay, well this got creepy all of a sudden. Huh. Lost at sea. Okay.
You made it! It's me, Professor Scholz, and Nina.
Oh wait, this is like in 3D? What? Okay, this is a really fucking cool look.
So now, what we really need is a close.
I mean, the footage looks fucking laggy as fuck, but it's probably early footage, so they probably fixed the choppiness. But like the visual effects, though, like this is definitely really cool looking.
Talk soon. What the? Is that what I think it is? Seems like things have only gotten stranger and stranger.
Like this is the kind of graphics you would not expect to be in a 3D game, but the game is literally just called Nuts.
Hey friends, I'm Danny O'Dwyer from NoClip, the crowdfunding YouTube channel that makes documentaries about how video games are made. All of us here at NoClip really appreciate the enormous effort that goes into creating video games. And one of the things we've learned over the years is that one of the more challenging aspects of game creation for studios is actually getting their finished game in front of players' eyeballs. So I just want to take a moment to thank you all for watching the Guerrilla Collective show. Shall we keep the show going? All right, here's some more new footage from some amazing teams. Enjoy.
Okay.
World premiere.
Hello everyone, this is Darren, Creative Director from Brunwild Entertainment, and we're here to talk about Almighty Kill Your Gods. In Almighty, you take the role of an alpha, a magical warrior infused with the power of your ancestors. You are reborn to protect your tribe against the tyranny of the Elder Gods. Almighty is an online action RPG with a fluid approach to co-op multiplayer. You can choose to play solo, with friends, or random players that you meet. You are equipped with power gauntlets, which are your magical weapon platforms. You can infuse these with power stones that provide magical abilities, and on your back, an amulet that you can charge to trigger epic spells. You can double jump and glide like a mystical ninja, or you can sprint on all fours like a beast and charge headfirst into battle. Slam down on enemies with your metal fists. Shoot balls of lightning, globs of healing magic, summon meteor storms, and much more. Your character class is determined by your own unique playstyle and the choices in how you equip your character. The goal is to become almighty and rebuild your home island by hunting and looting in the enemy control
That just looks funny. Small guy carrying a giant ass thing.
Found in chests, buried underground, and minerals sitting in the environment. Your kindred will need rescuing and can be found sheltering in enemy territory or enslaved for more nefarious reasons. The biggest rewards come from big kills. Taking down giant monsters or gods means taking on various body parts to convert to resources. The real challenge in securing your loot is to activate magic portals to transfer it back to your home island. This won't go unnoticed by the monsters and gods. The islands react dynamically, and the more you anger the gods of the island, the more trouble you will face. When you return to the home island, you can use that loot to repair and upgrade buildings and to further upgrade your character. Upgrading and customizing your home island allows you to do several things. Add defenses to protect your island from enemy attacks. Upgrade farms and mines to boost your economy. Build an impressive Tower of Might that directly boosts your character's health and magic stats. Eventually, you'll be able to open trading routes with your friends and visit each other's home islands to help each other to upgrade. You can provoke enemy raids onto your island, invite your friends to help, and face off together the waves of powerful foes and share in the loot. That was a brief overview of our game, Almighty Kill Your Gods. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that's the game we saw already, like, during the, day with the PC gaming show and stuff.
Come on, let's keep going.
Now! We lost him. I'm taking the lead. Don't mind if I do. All this rust is starting. Cover me.
Got it.
Are you okay?
You go, girl.
I got your back.
Sweet.
Oh no, you don't.
Are you all right?
Wanna see something new?
Yeah, I think this is the first gameplay I've seen of it.
Go, go, go! Eat it!
Also, this trailer's a bit loud.
See you around.
That was easy. Ah, a drone parking platform. I was wondering why we hadn't seen one yet.
It doesn't look in too bad a shape.
Yeah. It must have fallen to the ground when its gyro stabilizer ran out of flow.
Weren't you just looking for one of those? A gyro stabilizer?
I was, but I need a gyro stabilizer designed for flight, not a ground-based gyro stabilizer.
What's the difference?
Well, first of all, the flight gyros cost 3 times as much. And secondly, Plute. I think I've been getting scammed my whole life.
Ooh. At least this one is free. So, are we bringing it home?
We're bringing it home.
Let me know if I can help.
Definitely going a bit long on this game.
Great oaks from little acorns grow.
All right, give me those medical plants of yours. Time to fire up the synthesizer. With this thing, we'll be right back on our feet.
Are you sure you know how?
I have a synthesizer in my ship. Of course I know how these work.
No, wait, that's not the way.
I know what I'm doing.
Really? Because at this stage, you should...
Ugh! Look, I've always done it this way, and it's always worked out. You're not gonna tell me how to use my own synthesizer.
Alright. Alright, as you wish.
Oh, hey, those PlayStation symbols.
There. What do you say about that?
Alright. I didn't know you could also do it that way.
And?
Sorry I doubted you.
And?
I love you?
Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but it'll do.
Yeah, that was a bit too long, but okay. Ah, yes, this game. The one that basically looks like they made a Flapjack game. Because it's very fucking similar art style-wise.
Funny story, a lot of people on the internet call me Trash Sailor. They just leave off the sailor part. Anyway, each and every one of us probably has a beloved memory of an adventure game, whether it be riding our motorcycle in full throttle, saving Clem in The Walking Dead, or cursing Tim Schafer's name. Let's check out a bunch of games that hope to make you scratch your head before a eureka moment.
In other news, apparently it looks like some people are reporting that there might be a next Crash Bandicoot game being announced soon. because some reviewers have received a 200-piece puzzle, and like knowing this company, they like to send things out like to tease ahead of time that there's gonna be something new. So. So, new title maybe for the first time in a while. Oh damn. Apparently the big person behind Sega's PR just decided to leave. Aaron, what was his name? Aaron Weber, yeah. Basically the person that made the Sonic freaking Twitter account like the biggest meme ever. That's kind of sad.
Last night, Paradise was killed. I'm investigation freak Lady Love Dies, reporting for duty. It's my job to scour the streets of Paradise and hunt for evidence. Any one of these psychopaths could have.
And yeah, this game was also shown at like the PC Game Show, I think.
Into Paradise won't be easy. When love dies, all that remains are the facts. Paradise Killer, coming soon.
Oh god, here we go with Silent Happiness. Yeah, I love these animations. Oh my god.
What's up, Justin from The Mix, and once again, I want to thank you all for supporting the Guerrilla Collective. Our idea here is to support developers of all shapes and sizes and make it so that you can find your next favorite game. I want to thank our partners too, who submitted so many games, partners like Humble Games, who brought you all of these gems.
Okay, so now you got a Humble showcase. Pop-up dungeon, okay.
Kindling to the fire. I love to raid.
My squad is locked and loaded.
I was just another girl from the country, in love.
Roguelike visual
I followed
novel.
the boy's promises
That's an
to
interesting
Paris,
genre
and
combination.
I was abandoned, but I chose to stay.
Also,
to
Czar
live
style.
for myself and seek my own passions without him. It was challenging at first. So many parties by so many people. Who to court, who to snub. Soon I had pawns of my own, tailors, bodyguards, and spies. My star was rising and quickly, but I made a single false step. Yet my story didn't have to end like this. It could have been so much more.
Hey, Iconfell? Yeah. Pain. Huh, okay.
A creeping curse that
Dungeon card crawler, so another Slay the Spire-esque game. Which is hilarious because Humber already published the Slay the Spire, so now they're publishing. Wait. Was that the fucking person who voiced Snatcher? That sounded definitely like fucking Snatcher. Wait a second. Okay, so that's the end of the humble section, but yeah, that definitely sounded like fucking Yuntown doing the Snatcher voice, which, if so, I mean, eh. Oh yeah, this game. I think I actually got this in some kind of bundle or something. But again, this never Slay this Fire type game.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a very special treat. Chris Charla from ID at Xbox is here. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Okay,
are you enjoying
so now
the
I
show
got
so
ID at
far?
Xbox
Yeah,
person.
the show is awesome, and yeah, I'm having fun.
You're a liar. You haven't even seen it yet, but I appreciate it. Chris,
I will enjoy it. I will enjoy it.
Chris, for those who don't know, what is ID at Xbox?
So ID at Xbox is a program that we have at Microsoft that helps people, independent developers, get their games onto Xbox and other Microsoft platforms. And we provide things like, obviously, platform access and free dev kits, but also promotional support, like some business analytics, everything we can to help developers succeed and just be able to focus on the game while we help take some of the other weight off their shoulders.
And that's one of the things I've loved about it. You guys have been around for 7 years now, and the amount of indies you've helped. I mean, making a game is tough enough, but then trying to enter the fray of publishing it, marketing it, getting all these different things out there. You're there to help, and that's amazing. I have to ask, is ID at Xbox continuing into the Xbox Series X generation?
We are, yeah, absolutely. We already got Xbox Series X dev kits out to developers. We're sending tons more out this summer. And we've actually announced a few titles. Scorn, Medium, Call of the Sea. We all showed as Xbox Series X optimized games. Those are all actually also going to be launching into Xbox Game Pass day and date, which is super cool. So yeah, like we're like full steam ahead on next gen.
Chris, you've brought a bunch of ID at Xbox games to show us right now. What's the standout one to you?
Man, they're all pretty cool. I will call out a couple. I think Dead Static Drive is really, really neat. It's from Mike Blackney and the guys at Team Fan Club. It's from Melbourne, Australia. And I would almost say it's kind of got that Melbourne look. It's really stylized, kind of pastel-y. It's gorgeous and super, super fun to play.
Well then, Chris, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the service you give the industry.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super stoked to see the event.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's a bunch of ID at Xbox games.
Okay. And now we got the Xbox port. Ah yes, skateboard.
Hi, I'm Megan, and this is Skatebird. It's a game about trying your best. Now, why skateboarding birds in particular? I came across a GIF of skateboarding like actual skateboarding birds a couple of years ago, and it blew my mind. I like birds just in general, and skateboarding birds
gotta
was
love
like
the
a
burbs.
piece. I grew up in the 90s playing skateboarding games, and as a genre, they just kind of stopped existing, and that's lame. I love these.
And now there's like 10 of them.
Because they're awesome. And I'm hoping that I can share some of what
stopped existing, and then suddenly there's like 10 of them in a freaking year or two.
In early 2021, and I really hope you'll enjoy it.
It's like now, if only they thought doing this like 5+ years ago or something.
In Spellbreak, players battle across the HoloLens to become the ultimate.
It's like a battle royale.
By equipping magical gauntlets, you engage in epic spellcasting combat, weaving spells together to defeat your foes. Throw giant boulders, shock them with lightning strikes, cast a giant firewall, or snipe enemies from afar with ice lance. You can even combine your elemental spells like Toxic Cloud and Flame Wall to roast your enemies with Dragonfire. You'll also be able to take your fight to the skies with unique movement abilities that change the often vertical battlefield. Fly, dash, and teleport across the map to take on other breakers. While Spellbreak's easy to learn, it has endless depth, making it the perfect showcase for your skills and playmaking moments. You define how you play through your class, talent, and loot choices. Spellbreak is releasing later this year. See you in the HoloLens.
The Falconeer is an open-world air combat game where you play as a mounted warrior on top of a giant bird of prey. It's a fantasy twist on dogfighting and air combat, focusing on really fast and agile turning battles, in which you take on a variety of fantastical enemies such as warbirds, giant airships, pirate ships, and of course the Ursea equivalent of dragons. The Ursea being the fantastical setting for this game, a bleak and vast ocean world full of tall ships and hardy sea folk. You'll be a part of all these struggles, but you'll also be trying to uncover the dark secrets that are hidden beneath the waves of the Ursea.
The Forgotten City is an open-world murder mystery in an ancient Roman city caught in a time loop. In it, you'll discover...
Goddamn, why is there so many fucking time loop games?
Travel 2,000 years into the past and talk to its inhabitants. You'll learn about a mysterious divine law.
It's like we got Returnal, Deathloop, this.
If one person commits a sin, everyone dies. Somebody in the city is about to break that law, and it's your job to figure out who and stop them. Fortunately for you, when disaster strikes, you can race back to the time portal from which you emerged and restart the day over again, retaining everything you've learned and collected. Exploiting this time loop allows you to foil assassination plots, avert fatal accidents, and much more. The Forgotten City has multiple endings, so your decisions matter. The fate of the city is very much in your hands.
Trash Sailors is a co-op game about sailing on a slapdash raft. We have local and online multiplayer of up to 4 people, so you can create the most disorganized team in sailing history. After years of ocean pollution, a giant trash tsunami flooded the planet. You are the castaways on a small raft in the middle of nowhere. Now you have to travel across the ocean and find yourself a new home.
I love how we're getting this game shown twice in the same show.
Fight, repair, and get resources, usually at the same time. Garbage is your main resource and the most valuable thing in this world. The game has awesome hand-drawn graphics, a lot of trash places to visit, and tons of enemies. Trash Sailors is coming out in 2020.
Okay, Call of the Sea. I remember seeing this one before.
Call of the Sea is a first-person adventure puzzle game set in the 1930s in the far reaches of the South Pacific. You take the role of Nora,
Suddenly got encoding overloaded.
who has crossed an
I
ocean
wonder why.
in search of her husband missing.
I don't see any issues.
We had the luck of having actress Cissy Jones as the voice of Nora. We adored her acting in Firewatch and her ability to create a strong presence with only her voice.
It is a tale of self-discovery and exploration not only of the island, but of the character's inner self.
We have crafted beautiful scenes that you will have to explore to put the pieces of the story together. Puzzles will feel like something that will push the narrative forward and never hinder your progress.
The island will hold many secrets that you will have to unveil. Explore ruins of a forgotten civilization and occult mysteries.
Dead Static Drive. We describe the game as Grand Theft Cthulhu. It's a horror survival adventure game. You're traveling through small town America, making your way home and making money where you can. The places you visit are strange and getting stranger. Make friends, get money, find places to stay and ways to eat. As your friends start to disappear, they're replaced with twisted creatures, and it becomes clear that more than just your survival is at stake. We give you a car. Now scavenge for things you'll need to survive, things you'll need to build, and things you'll use to hunt monsters. But don't get too comfortable unless you've got friends to look out for you.
Welcome to Elk is a story game with lots of unique designed minigames. You play as a young woman called Frigg who travels to the island of Elk, where everyone you meet has a story to tell. Some stories are lighthearted, others dark and tragic. But all of them come from true stories told by my brother Lauge and my parents from the travels to places like Greenland. In Welcome to Elk, you will also meet the people who told the stories we use in the game. Welcome to Elk is a mystery where the fourth wall will be broken down, and you will, like Frigg in the game, find yourself somewhere between truth and tall tales.
I almost swore I just heard it said you will frick in the game.
But we made this game based on real people.
God damn it.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks for coming by and reminding us all that people make these games. I know that might sound silly, but we all get so caught up in review scores, backlogs, and moving on to the next big title that I think it's easy to forget the thousands of people who work late nights and long hours so their vision can be achieved and we can be entertained. In fact, let's hear from a few of our friends from Wings as to why they make games.
We're Wings. You may have heard of us from the GDC Relief Fund.
With the help of our amazing sponsors,
Okay, so now we got some international.
over $290,000 and helped about 200 indie developers recoup their travel costs.
That was just a side quest. Our main mission is to invest in awesome games by women and developers of marginalized backgrounds.
Wings is creating opportunities to bring more diversity to the game industry.
Here are some of the awesome games and developers Wings has supported already.
Don't Forget Me, it's a narrative, memories, investigation game that will be available on Steam. The gameplay mixes up an adventure game and a search for keywords. In this cyberpunk world, ruled by a one-party government, everyone has an implanted chip that records their memories. Memories that you can explore in a clinic with a machine that says...
Later Daters was interesting to us because we thought that seniors and older people are left out of the dialogue of what it is to be passionate and to be in love and to feel the need for connection. Like, we just don't see it portrayed very often in a way that's sympathetic or in a way that's sexy, charming.
I get to work with really lovely and supportive people at Bloom Digital. I have tons of fun thinking of crazy ideas during our meetings.
While dating sims and visual novels are still a fairly niche form of gaming, its audience is extremely passionate, and it's been really nice to see as the game has been launched, it embraced by that community, by the queer community, for its heartwarming and wholesome message.
You play as Lord Winklebottom, the gentleman giraffe detective, and you're aided by your companion, Dr. Reginald Frumple, the hippo. You're tasked with solving the murder of your old school friend, Admiral Gilfrey, the axolotl.
Let's see, how much left do we have in this one?
I wanted to bring a new twist to the classic
Okay, so
genre.
about
The
20
game was
minutes.
initially funded with a successful Kickstarter in 2019, and Wings has helped increase my funding, which will help improve the game development even more.
Okay.
in Blockland is a cooperative
Oh yeah, this one.
in which you have to push blocks to defeat monsters. You can also match
This
3 blocks.
definitely feels like, God, what is the
There
name
are
of it?
5 theme walls with unique monsters.
Like it was made by HAL Laboratories, who made Kirby.
We decided
I
to
can't
make
remember
this
what
game
the hell the
when
name was.
Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch. We wanted to make a game that could be fun to play by the whole family, and it had to be cooperative, since the console already has 2 controllers attached.
World premiere.
Okay, we got a world premiere. Okay, so it's like a puzzle game. Oh yes, I found the name of it. Adventures of Lolo.
And I'm the creative director.
It's like, and
Today
the name kind of makes sense almost if you consider the comparison of that too, because
check it out.
It's like the main character you play as Lolo, and there's also Lala or something like that. So
I'm
like,
just coming back to base now.
you know,
I've
pushy
been
and pulley.
Exploring, I found
like it's
this,
definitely supposed to be kind of. It seems like very similar gameplay, and like even the name kind of difference, kind of almost is similar.
Basically, my job now is to bring it back and have my friend Billy Whiskers here transform it into an.
Okay, so this almost seems kind of like Sunset Overdrive with the movement, like.
So I'm just gonna talk with him.
You're moving around places by essentially skating on like these in-air wire kind of things.
He's sort of.
And then you're moving around the world.
Maybe
which is very similar to Sunset Overdrive.
Be able to get this job done. Alright, so he told me I just need to start the ritual. So first I'm just going to take a quick look around. So this is really the core of what this game is about, is building.
So we're basically having a let's play with this guy doing everything as slow as fuck as you possibly can.
Tanks and water tanks.
This probably get me another 10-minute
kind of provide
segment, I'm
food
guessing.
And water and entertainment for them, and beds and places to sleep. So we do use 2D cutscenes throughout the game to advance the story, you know, for sequences that might be a little too complicated to justify doing with all in-engine 3D assets. So Billy's doing his dance here, transforming the seed.
I mean, wouldn't an engine 3D probably be easier? Because obviously 2D requires more like work usually than like 3D models, which a lot of it can be automated. But
the local feral.
I mean, considering that is like stop motion kind of stuff where it's like just one frame every few seconds.
Get to some high ground here and take a look around.
I guess
set
maybe
up
it could be
jump
easier.
Pad, just to get me up on the bunk bed so I can get a nice vantage point. I'm going to go to bow and arrow and take a look. Alright, so got a couple grunts rolling in right now. They're going straight for the...
Yeah, this feels very fucking Sunset Overdrive in the movement. Like, not only the grinding thing, but like that dash, air dash kind of thing that they did. Like, that's very freaking Sunset Overdrive. Which, to be honest, I still need to play because I actually do own it. I can't remember where I got it. Like, I think it's on Game Pass.
I'm just gonna get his attention.
I might have like got it on Steam or something like that, but.
I'm really not paying enough attention here. I am kind of getting pretty beat up.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. That's what I thought.
I'm just going to try and kite these guys over to this Tesla coil because it's going to help me out a lot. They've got decoys to keep them busy. They've got a Tesla coil to do damage.
I mean, the combat is definitely not like that game, though, but like the actual like movement definitely.
So those things you're hearing, those are the proximity mines that are dropped by the fangs. They're kind of these ranged area denial enemies. I got got a straggler over here.
I just love like the synclack of like almost any music.
I'm not doing great. I'm gonna run back like a coward to my Tesla coil again and let it do some work for me, because I am really on death's door here.
God, this like that's one thing I'll definitely give to this like presentation. Like they definitely show a good amount of stuff for 2 hours. Like they do pack it pretty full, but like they definitely have a few way too long extended segments that just should have been cut down like by a good 5 minutes or more.
Alright, I'm just gonna revive here, and takes a little bit of a durability hit, but saves a little time. Alright, I'm gonna go back to high ground and look for this guy. Alright, there he is, just kind of lurking. And I'm gonna say hello right back. I don't have a lot of arrows, so I really can't do this for too long. I'm gonna try and reflect his shot back at him. Alright, so this summon is one of many attacks this guy's got. I can't hurt him until I take out these goons. I'm just gonna drop a decoy. I want to keep them busy in around this other Tesla coil I've got. And eventually they will decide that you're more interesting than a decoy, but it's a good way to draw enemies into a specific location. Now I'm going to try and do as much range stuff with this guy as possible, because he's got some really heavy close range attacks. But I am going to run out of ammo pretty soon here. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna switch to my balloon launcher, but I only have a couple of balloons. Here's another one of his attacks. He drops these brambles around, and they just become obstacles that can clutter up the battlefield. Alright, I'm sort of looking at what I've got. What's got durability, what's got ammo. Down to a couple shots. Alright, it's melee time.
Also, I love it. They were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to take this out as much range check possible, and then they waste the range attack on that one enemy that they took down very easily with the melee earlier. Like, just kill the thing with the melee and then save the wet range stuff ammo for this boss.
Ah, perfect. He just walked himself right into that Tesla coil. This is really going to help take him out. Oh, I'm getting... Oh, there he goes. Alright, the other one took care of it. And here is a chest that spawns at the end of a raid just to give me some good loot and reward me for my troubles. So there you have it. That is...
Yeah, that definitely went on a bit too long.
Drake Hollow campaign gameplay. We're coming out on July 17th, and we're coming to Xbox One, Steam, and the Windows 10 store. Thanks so much for watching.
But yeah, it's close to the end.
We're almost done for the day, but before we go, what if we took a stroll around the world? While 2020 has been a trash fire, you can't deny that the ease of sharing art and experiences is great. So we thought, what better way to close out day 2 of the Guerrilla Collective than with a slew of announcements from some studios around the world.
Okay.
You are the president. Lead the country into ruin or
text-based game, basically.
Will you honor your elected
so much reading.
The country's future depends on your choices. How will you?
This reminds me very much of 80 Days by what's called, but the people who made this app called Inkle Writer, which lets you make interactive like text stories, and they basically made a visual game around that engine. And that looked very kind of similar to it, but it's definitely not the same studio, because I'm pretty sure it had a different name, but yeah. And this, I think, was also shown at, like, the PC Gaming Show. Or Future Games. Yeah, no. George Wild West tale. God damn it. Tell me to restart for Windows updates. I'm in the middle of stream, I cannot restart.
Exclusive.
And before it tries to automatically restart. Okay, this looks fucking terrible. Just like, it looks so bad. Like, just like there's no animations at all. What the hell? This like supposed to be one of those intentionally like so bad, whatever, you know, the games that like everybody's gonna fucking play on YouTube. The random sensor, what the fuck? What the actual hell is this? That was hard garbage. Granted, this 2021, so maybe they can fucking fix them up. Shit. Oh my god, this looks adorable as fuck. Oh wait, I think I saw a demo for this on Steam during this week. Like, definitely not an anime in this style, but like, I think I recognize the character. Yeah, I saw this. This looks adorable as fuck. Granted, I probably won't play it because it is kind of a farming kind of focused game, whatever, and like I don't really play much of those, but yeah. But it's kind of like farming Windbreaker, is how I think I've heard it described. And it's so adorable looking. Yeah, Summer and Mara, yeah. Okay, yes, so I guess it's out. I thought it was just like one of those early demos on the Steam Game Festival, but... Okay. So we got some kind of like samurai looking thing, looks like. Maybe like a modern samurai kind of thing, okay. Like a cyberpunk. Huh. This looks interesting. Huh. So yeah, it's like a cyberpunk samurai game. That's intriguing. Definitely not the kind of thing I would have thought of. Combat looks pretty damn badass too. Huh. Interesting.
And with that, day 2 of the Guerrilla Collective is complete. Thank you to everyone who submitted their games, talked about the industry, and most importantly, watched.
We still have one more day of demos starting tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, which is gonna be now, basically.
Deep dives, devs, and gameplay. But until then, it's been our pleasure to serve you. The Guerrilla Collective thanks its gold sponsor, ID at Xbox.
As well as all of these supporting sponsors.
Okay, let's pull up the next day. If I can find the links again. I have them here somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the time, and then I'm gonna take a very short break because I need to use the bathroom. Let me just go ahead and get it to the starting point here, that way I can let it buffer. I'll be right back. Probably should have had some BRB music going, but oh well. Up. Why did it suddenly jump back? Goddamn thing. Okay, here we go with day 3.
A 3-day digital festival of game announcements, trailers, and demos streamed straight to you. Please welcome your host, Game Awards trending gamer, Greg Miller.
Welcome back to the final day of the Guerrilla Collective. For the last 2 days, we've been showing you brand new games, debuting trailers, and even releasing titles on the spot. But today's my favorite day, honestly. Today, the developers are going to speak directly to you about their projects in a laid-back live stream. You, of course, hang out in the chat, they show you their cool games, and we all get to find our next favorite title. Sound good?
Yeah, this one's 2 hours also.
Let's get into it. This is your final day of the Guerrilla Collective. Alex, Justin, take it away.
Okay, so basically what they're saying is this is going to be kind of like the last video of the last stream. Basically, we're just a long gameplay thing.
You're showing over 80 games. We got 7 games today that we're going to be showcasing.
Only 7 over 2 hours.
A little bit about me. I'm the co-founder of the media.
This one definitely feels like it's going to go on and on.
The Guerrilla Collective, along with some of the most amazing producers. Publishers and developers from around the world. I'm also a game developer and that type of thing, and I'm going to chop it up with you guys. And
basically, every game is going to probably spend about 20 minutes on it.
Thank you. I'm Alex Wilmer. I co-founded an audio production company here in Berkeley. We also have studios in South Korea and in Ireland. And we work around the clock on video games, animated cartoon series, film, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we're here in Wilmer Sound. Just a little bit about the Guerrilla Collective, like I was saying. Due to the lack of E3, we were like, let's get together, the mix, and a bunch of publishers and developers, and let's do this thing ourselves independently. So what you see around here, we basically built up a studio within his studio to make this happen, and we've been grinding to make this happen along with the developers here. So this is going to be a really cool experience. We have, like I said, 7 games coming up, and last week we did the Black Voices.
So they're definitely not sitting 6 feet apart.
And it's just been crazy, as everyone knows, with COVID, Black Lives Matter, that type, all those things happening. We do have a charity. If you could pop the charity up, you can. Those are our sponsors, but it's all good. Yeah, so we do have a charity.
Person running the live stream. Yeah.
Tiltify, the NAACP, UNICEF, and Gameheads. If you want to donate, anything that you put forth for that is very, very helpful. So the next couple hours, we'll be showing you games, chat with teams, learn more about these games. Amazing creators, like some of them I'm a fanboy for. I bet you guys are too. And check out the chat because they are in the chat, even though you guys are clowning, folks. The cylinder is coming towards the end of the show, guys. Yeah, but let's roll over to our first trailer and get right into it. This is Iron Harvest.
Peggy 18.
Okay.
We were all busy.
So they got like a silent film
lives.
and a start.
Didn't know what went on in secret. Didn't see the war coming. They said the war would be won within months. An adventure, promising pride and honor. In the end, it would be 5 years. Years of torment and horror, like the world had never seen before.
Oh, hey Disney.
The Great War, that was supposed to end all wars, is over. While in secret, the seed is sown for the next war.
Kinda wish I could listen right now instead of watching this.
But this time, we're vigilant, and we'll fight.
Because basically, in case you missed it, God, this one's loud as fuck. Holy crap. Basically, in case you missed it, They basically said, yeah, it's gonna be the same 2-hour length as the past days, but we're only gonna show 7 games and do like in-depth walkthroughs. So that's gonna be like 20 minutes per game. And it's like, yeah, that's way too fucking long for 7 games only. And to be honest, I definitely am not interested in this game.
And that was a dope trailer for Iron Harvest. We got Tobias on the line talking about the game. We're going to be playing the game. This dude is going to be driving.
Honestly, I'm almost considering just being like, I'll skip to the next trailer.
Thank you for having me, guys.
And just get this over with.
Like, you look really crispy right now. The beard is exquisite, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
On point.
Because I mean, I don't mind, you know, them doing long, kind of extended gameplay things, but that almost should be like a, you know, like a 7th stream, you know, after you do your main announcements, not, you know, mix your announcements in with these long showcases that most people might not want to sit down and watch, you know,
with the Kickstarter,
unless they're interested in this specific game, you know.
I remember correctly, and yeah, so that's a Kickstarter.
Definitely not the biggest fan of the format they're doing here.
After we are right in front of releasing the game, so that we're super excited about that.
That's dope, because I remember when I was actually, I don't know if you heard about Fig, but I actually was publishing at Fig, and I was like looking through games, and when you guys were on Kickstarter, I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. You had such great artwork.
Oh yeah, Fig, I remember that. That's the thing that Psychonauts was on. Basically, it was like Kickstarter, but you basically became an investor.
You're pushing your game for, you know, to showcase in the Guerrilla Club. I was like, oh my god, we have to play this. And then right now, so let's switch. Alex is going to be playing. It's so interesting that you guys chose to.
Okay, so it's
kind of
MOBA kind of thing, kind of like
little kids. I was like, this is
League of Legends.
And amazing.
Oh, looks it.
Yes, exactly. So the game, for those who don't know, it's an RTS, right? So
RTS, okay, yeah.
In this tutorial, we somehow need to teach the people how the mechanics work, right? So we thought it's a pretty cool way to make it in this kind of snow fight scene, because not only does it give you the like basics of the game, but it also gives you some background story of the main characters of the game, because this young lady there is Anna, who's the hero for the Polania faction, and it gives the characters actually way more substance, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to have like an organic feel when you're doing that, as opposed to it just being this like really stiff, like you have to read a bunch of texts, you know, a bunch of text. But what was your? Oh, go ahead.
No, press A and D to move the camera and stuff. So here it's like a little bit more gamification, right?
Yeah.
So that's the word, I guess.
Yeah, true. So what was your what was the inspiration behind Iron Harvest?
So yeah, the biggest gameplay wise, the biggest inspiration are games like Company of Heroes, Dawn of War, and Warcraft 3. So it's more this classical RTS, and like gameplay wise, the closest is probably Company of Heroes. If you remember that game where you have to take cover, you cannot just simply send your troops to the front line. You have to protect them and keep them alive, because they are very precious and very expensive. So it's a very tactical and strategic RTS actually. And from the world and the design, it's inspired by Jakub Grujalski, which is a Polish artist, his artwork.
Also, Disney, I don't know if you're still here, but apparently Muzz posted yesterday 3rd single incoming with no date, so
that's the name
possibly in a few days, maybe next week.
You have an alternative post-World War I, where the people, instead of tanks, were using giant mechs actually to fight, and we call this era.
I wonder which one is going to be the 3rd single.
So steampunk is a little bit
Salvation or Out There, or maybe something else.
Later, and this 1900s is the diesel punk era, and that's where we are playing, and this is where where's everything based on.
That's super interesting. So yeah. So what role do you play on the team? Just curious.
Excuse me? Come again?
What do you do on the team? I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, so I'm Toby. I'm the PR manager for this game. So I'm the one who's showing his beard into the camera and tell you how great the game is. But actually, yeah, I'm taking the game. I'm traveling the world with it, and I'm trying to show it to the people. And actually, that's what we did since the Kickstarter campaign, showing the game and collecting feedback. And that's what we are also doing right now. There's a closed beta for Iron Harvest, but the big announcement, if I can say it like that, from tomorrow there will be a demo on Steam, so everyone can try.
Okay, yeah. So it's on the Steam Festival
before it actually releases, and that's important for us because we are collecting feedback and try to implement as much as possible into the game.
There's a multiplayer component where you're fighting against your friends and that type of thing.
Very right. So in this RTS, of course, there's a big campaign. That's the part which is inspired by Warcraft 3, so with the hero units and the deep single-player campaign. So there will be planned right now 21 missions for the single-player campaign. But of course, as you said, there's also a multiplayer, which I like a bit more than the single-player, but just me personally, because I believe that having this huge mech fight, stomping through buildings, outrunning your opponent, outsmarting your friend, is even more interesting than fighting AI. But that's just me. So if you are more into the single-player part, then go ahead.
They lost the fucking tutorial.
What?
In the tutorial.
In the tutorial. With snowballs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
no diesel.
Not looking
no diesel, but hard ice. You can try a skirmish battle if you want, because then you can see more than just throwing ice.
Yeah.
And then if you're quick enough, you will be even able to build some mechs and show the people how the
this is definitely not going over well.
Snowpunk.
It's like, of all the things they could show, they show off the tutorial level that doesn't have any of the interesting stuff about the game.
Get back and go try a skirmish.
Of course. So the story is, well, in this 1920.
And then, of course, the person dies at the tutorial because.
More factions, but in the game there's 3 factions. We have Polania, which is something like alternative Poland, Rusviet, something like alternative Russia, and Saxony, which is something like alternative Germany, and they are fighting each other in Iron Harvest. So, and the idea is that, I don't want to spoil too much about the single player, of course, but the idea is that there is some kind of super weapon somehow someone has it, everyone wants it, and all the campaigns are actually trying to get to this point. Who gets the weapon? Who will take charge? Who will be the powerful source in the end of the game? And that's like the big overview of the campaign. But of course, for every campaign, for each faction, we have 7 missions. So you will see the different angles on the game and the different parts of the game from different views, and eventually find out that who seems bad isn't that bad, and so on. So there's some plot twists and stuff, and the missions should be as unique as possible.
Cool. You're gonna have to run us through this as he starts getting things
I'm going to
moving.
the Iron Mines.
So first of all, exactly. So that's the Company of Heroes style gameplay, where there's no. If you think of a Command & Conquer or something, you have to collect your Tiberium. Here you have to conquer those iron mines and oil pumps, and they will then over time generate some resources for you. So the big idea is it's something like moving the front line back and forth all the time.
Yeah, definitely. This definitely is not a game I'm interested in at all.
But the opponent can take them from you at every moment, and so on. The 2 units you have right now is regular riflemen and engineers. Those engineers with the these ones exactly. They are building base. They're pretty much building your base. So if you push H or put on the building. Push the building button on the bottom right when you click the engineers, then you can build some buildings like barracks and a workshop in your base. And as I said, it's moving the front line back and forth. So on the minimap on the left side, you can see how the opponent is slowly conquering resource points and those flags there. And it's a bit like capture the flag. So if the opponent takes them, then there's a counter, which you can see on the top, the winning points, victory points, which I personally don't like. I'm for the annihilation fighting the opponent till the end. But yeah, sneaky win with victory points is of course also possible.
There's no snowballs
so
here.
If no snowballs.
Yeah, bullets
if
to
you,
the face.
I'm attacking these guys. Oh, they ran away.
Yes, exactly. You can. They saw you probably, or they took the oil pump and now they're getting something different. So on the map you have the oil pump, you have crates. In those crates there can be weapons, there can be resources, there can be, there's field gun, for example, weapons lying around, and you can adapt on the battlefield while playing the game. And the coolest thing, I believe, is not only the covering system that you have to take cover when you're attacking someone, but when you have a mech or something, then you can walk through buildings and just ignore all the cover because they're way too big and will just stomp through.
That's awesome.
I would heavily recommend to start building a base, because you took all your units, especially the engineers who is not good at shooting, and you took them to this house. Yes, the house button. If you click on the house button, then you can build, for example, the barracks or workshop, and put it in the base. It's the thing you neglected in the very first moment.
Yeah. Tobias is going in on Alex.
Learning is fun.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, it's as always, you have to get the basics, and that's why the snowball, that's what the snowball tutorial was trying to teach you, that of course how to move on the battlefield, but also how to build your base and take care of it.
Our barracks is under attack.
My barracks is
so
under
it's
attack.
getting.
Oh,
By the way, I'm trying to right now talk to you via my cell phone, and I'm using mobile data. So if anything happens, then just so you know.
They'll figure it out.
It's all good.
It's good.
But it seems to work, so I have my makeshift streaming device.
No,
here.
your stream is amazing, by the way. When we saw your camera, it's like better than like 90% other, you know what I mean? Looks super.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have thought it was a phone. Like,
cell phone, man.
That definitely is a pretty good camera.
I feel
So
like I have lost all my units and my base.
So you were learning the hard way. How about we start again, and you use one of those units you have there, the rifleman, to capture resource points, and the other one, the engineers, to immediately start to build something. And then
it's
you
like
send out
relatively boring game for most people, combined with guy who doesn't know how to play and keeps having to restart. It's like, this is a terrible fucking presentation.
Yes,
so
you definitely do.
I sure am.
Of course, it's
Like, now I would watch, but I'm sure the guy, who made the game is like, they're not showing off my game that well.
To be able to build units, of course, that's where you get your mechs and your soldiers. However, the focus on the game will always be on the front line of the battlefield. So what actually happens is that you're trying to protect your resource points at all time. You're trying to push the enemy back and so on. And what's really interesting, maybe you saw it when your units died. Whenever you kill a human unit, they will drop their weapons. So let's say you are killing, I don't know, a flamethrower unit, then you can tell your engineers to pick up the flamethrowers, and they upgrade to become flamethrower units. So a potentially weak unit becomes a potentially very strong unit. However, you then lose the engineers and become flamethrower. So this gives you a lot of independence and flexibility on the battlefield, which is pretty cool. So let's say the opponent is attacking you with tanks or something, and you really need to get some cannons quickly to get them down, anti-tank cannons. Then just try to pick up cannons if you're lucky enough to find them somewhere. So we have to collect. We have to push for more resources. So you can either pick up the crates lying around. You can see them on the map. There are those white boxes. Those are weapon crates or resource crates.
I see.
Or exactly those
cool.
ones. And it's a weapon crate, so inside there will be a weapon, but there's also oil crates and iron crates. And if you go to the resource points, then you can capture them as well. In your HQ, the only building you have currently, you can also build basic units. So you could build another engineer, for example, so you have 3 units instead of 2. What is very important for you, I guess, is the retreat button. So once one of your units, no, you're laughing, but actually it really helps you to survive, because in same as in Company of Heroes, you cannot afford to rebuild so many units, so you need to keep them alive. Exactly, you push it. Perfect. You just push the R button or the button on the bottom right, and
nice.
they will get.
This gives me time to
hit point
check my
bonus
email, which I didn't have time to do this morning. So
where you can repair them or heal them.
Okay.
So once they arrive at your HQ, they will lose this small arrow on the head, and if you push R again, you will replenish the unit.
Okay.
R or the top left button.
So Tobias, when is the release?
The release is on the but this joke only works in Europe. However, the game is called Iron Harvest 1920 plus 1920, which is the 1st of September 2020.
Okay, nice.
Only works in Europe though. So it's in a few weeks, in a few months. There's the Iron Harvest is releasing, but. And that's a very important and very cool part. From tomorrow, you can get your demo on Steam for free, so you can try it for several days. So it's from June 16th to June 22nd. You can try it, give your feedback, and try to stay alive a bit longer.
Definitely be practicing. The game is awesome. It's very gorgeous. I love playing the beginning part of it. I'm definitely going to be playing it. You can wishlist it now.
Exactly. So go Steam, Epic, whatever shop you like, go there and you can wishlist it and try it if you go to Steam.
Thank you so much, Tobias. It was amazing having you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It was great.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That was Iron Harvest, King Art Games, Tobias. The game is really fun. It's cool. It obviously takes a minute to really get into. It's an RTS, but the game is
there's a lot of strategy in that game, which is really cool. It's amazing to see the dynamic cover too, the way that you go behind the cover and they automatically take cover and stuff. It's really cool. It's the kind of thing you need plenty of time to kind of figure out, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the kind of thing that I would lose many hours playing for sure.
Okay, so up next we have Say No More, Marius Winter. Roll the trailer, sir.
Okay. Did they have friggin' stream issues again? I guess I did.
Did you just start your internship? Welcome, intern. And we're destroyed by your coworkers.
Make me coffee.
Copy these papers.
Day alert.
Your supervisor probably just stole your lunch. Thanks, intern. And the problem is, you are too shy to say something.
I don't see coffee.
But don't worry. All you need is just one word. It's the word no.
No. Whoa.
You work late today.
No. Whoa. Be nice to our supervisor.
Clean the coffee maker. No.
Go, buddy.
No. Yes, you learned well. Big way.
No.
Damn. Fine. Here.
Hey, keep it down.
Hey, let's go. Okay, you can. No. Hey, what is this madness? Your outfit is bad. Oh, you're being weird. Stop clapping. Hey, what are you doing?
No.
I was just projecting.
That was Say No More. This game looks really hilarious. We got Marius on the line.
Oh, hey.
How's it
Hello.
going?
I'm good. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
1 2 1 2. Awesome.
Did you play one of the voices for the game?
I did. These were all placeholder voices by me. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because
Okay.
yeah, the game is super hilarious. By the way, I kept playing it over and over again the other day. It reminds me of old school PS1 games, which may be like what your influence is. But there's one in particular called Incredible Crisis that I used to love. And like I would just keep playing through that game, and this is like dead on. I'm like, when I saw this game, I think I saw it a while ago. You guys were gonna show it at the Mix GDC or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, we gotta check this game out. So we finally got our hands on it. Alex is gonna play through it. It's hilarious. You have to talk about like how you came up with this idea.
Thank you so much.
I'll let you choose how to say no as with 9 as an option.
One of the games that inspired this game. Also, Muscle March on the Wii was also a big inspiration.
Muscle March?
But yeah,
I'm writing that down.
Oh, Muscle March is amazing. You all have to Google it now. But it's it's an old Wii game. I don't know if you can play it anymore, but anyway, this is more in terms of the art style and humor what inspires this game, but the original inspiration came. So my friend Nick and we both came up with this game, and we both are game designers at Studio Fitspin, and we know each other since kindergarten. So we grew up together and played games together.
That's cool.
And humor. And a couple years ago, we were playing around with Unity and making weird prototypes. And one thing that we want to have in video games that we rarely get is, imagine in games where you can jump and there's an NPC, and if you jump in front of the NPC, just jumping around, they don't react to that. And we want games where they are like, why are you jumping around? This is not normal. What are you doing? Like these are games that we want. And so we made a little game in an office environment where people talk to you and you can only answer. There are 4 things you can say. You can say yes, no, maybe, or interesting. What do you think? And they always react to whatever you say.
Yeah,
and then you can imagine that. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, you can imagine the most fun part was to say no to everyone without context, just always saying. And so we figured, let's just throw away all the other things. Let's just focus on no. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
This is an interesting concept, I guess.
Where are you guys from?
We are from Germany. We are from Aschaffenburg.
Oh, okay.
Okay, of course they put 9 in there. They're from Germany.
The social interaction aspect of it is really, really interesting, and I like how you layered it. Like at first you can't say anything, and then you get this motivational, and you'll see it. I'm spoiling everything, but you get like this motivational speaker telling you how to say no, and then you get this motivational speaker telling you how to laugh in someone's face, like to startle them or mess with their mind, and just those layers and the interaction. And the body language and that type of thing is very fresh. It's interesting.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's what also came after. So when we knew like let's make a fun little game about just saying no, we also only then noticed like, hey, wait a minute, we both are scared of saying no as well. Like it's hard. We would rather say yes in a lot of situations than no. And we noticed like, oh, this makes so much sense that we want to make this game. We want to be better at saying no. And it's not like that we didn't have bad internships or something like that.
Yeah.
The office environment is just the setting of this game.
Yeah.
But a lot about the game is just about, things where you would... I personally think, for example, if I get invited to a party of a good friend and I just don't want to go, but I still go.
Yes.
Because I don't want to be, because I feel like a bad friend if I say no.
Yes.
And so this game is about this.
I think a lot of us have that trouble, especially if you're like creative or you know what I mean.
Honestly, this game just looks hilarious. So
ask me to do something, I want
definitely something better, to show than the first one, I think. But like,
I don't know. It's
still like, do you really need this like really long, extended,
yeah.
thing? Especially because this is like a game that's like kind of almost like story kind of stuff. That's like, probably best experience yourself and not through the eyes of a stream.
No, 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 come on, no. Try it on this jerk.
So it's like, maybe we should, not show off like 20 minutes of the game.
Just swap back to your heated no. Press this. No. Hit doors with the no you prefer. The choice is yours. No. Now show this meanie what you got. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Listen, I know it's outrageous saying no these days, but if you don't use it, jerks like these lunch stealers will always win.
Lunch stealers.
Do you want that? No. Exactly. No. But wait, there's more. Before destroying jerks with a juicy no, confuse them like heck
Juicy.
by laughing at them.
I love this
Hold
part.
this button to laugh at this dude. Or you can clap at them with this button. The choice is yours.
I feel awkward.
Freaking voice.
Know him. Know him.
Right? Laugh at idiots to feel better.
I don't know why.
Laugh at idiots.
Okay, this is actually hilarious.
Oh, what? Oh. I'm actually
That's what I was talking about. I like games where I can irritate NPCs.
Yeah. that's
So
hilarious.
just doing a slow clap.
Don't forget to write instructions. This is the best thing. Oh my god.
Say no to this jerk.
No, whoa. I need some. No.
Did you see my new lunchbox?
No.
Excuse me? What did you say? What?
He busted a combo on his face.
You are just an intern. Fire that intern supervisor.
No, 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 no.
The dude was hiding. Okay, I was like, the dude was like hiding in the bushes. The planter.
Just destroying the whole office with your nose.
Oh. Sometimes they're nice people, and you could get a reward if you don't say anything.
Oh, interesting. I was just rapid firing no everywhere. Try to
That's
find a
fine.
nice
Yeah,
person.
This game supports spamming the space bar. Definitely.
What kind of week? Are you good?
No.
So cute. You are. Okay, that's it.
Oh, you got blasted, son.
Yes.
Lunch stealers.
Flip the tape.
Flip the
Flip the tape. There are more lessons.
Oh my god.
What happened? Did you got crushed by a jerk who won't listen to you, no? What a bunch. But don't worry, I'm here to teach you a new kind of no.
When is this game being released? And like on what platforms?
Later this year.
Okay.
And I always joke about like in Iron Harvest. I also have a joke for the release. I hope we can release in November 9.
Wow.
Because 9 in German is also no.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
I would go so far if we miss that date, we just wait a year for next November 9, 2021.
That's so good.
Or maybe not. I don't know. But officially, no, we don't have a exact date yet. But later this year. Yeah.
Is there gonna be a demo out for this for people to play, or not yet?
Yeah, there's also a demo on Steam.
Okay.
On the Steam Game Fest. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, shout out to Valve for working with the Guerrilla Collective and all the devs for to get our games up.
Oh my god.
I don't know why you're saying the dialogue is temp. I would keep this.
It's solid. This is coming from like a BO expert. Like, this is a sound studio.
Thank you so much. I actually will voice a lot of characters, but we casted a couple more actors, so there's more variety.
The dialogue is hilarious. And so, did you write all the dialogue?
I wrote it together with Brandon Gibbons. So we basically, this was also There's like this was one of the technical challenges, like having building the tools for us to put in a lot of the creative choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, we basically in each level we just write in a big sheet. We just write the jokes
That's
from top to
great.
bottom, and it was just write them and then they are in, and this was. Yeah, it was a really fun experience writing the jokes because it was a lot of elements in this game is just like, here's a funny thought, I write it down and it's done. There are a lot of things where we don't think too much about them, and if they make us laugh from the beginning, then we keep in the silly stuff. Because there's a lot of encounters you have in this game. This is just the first of 8 levels.
Well, we are not going to spoil the end of this demo for everybody. It's so this game is so amazing. Everybody wishlist it and check out the game soon. 9.
9.
But yeah, thank you so much, Maris. Where can they follow the game and where can they check everything out?
We now have a Twitter account. It's at saynomore_game, and also our webpage is saynomore.re. And yeah, this is
I love how they use the RE domain for that. So it's saynomo.re.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't practice this.
You were waiting.
I see myself on the screen, like.
You should have just told me no. You know. But yeah, thanks so much. The game is like really refreshing. You know, to see something like brand spanking new and different. Keep making these type of games. I think we need to celebrate this kind of ingenuity and interesting kind of design. So yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Bye.
Say no more.
Say no more, Justin.
Okay, I definitely won't. The game is freaking hilarious.
Okay, so what are we moving on to now?
What we
Oh god, Boyfriend Dungeon is gonna be in this?
Boyfriend Dungeon.
Oh god.
Let's roll the trailer, please.
So basically, you're dating your weapons in this game. It's a very weird game.
That was the amazing trailer for Boyfriend Dungeon, the highly anticipated game from Kit Fox Games. And we have Tanya chilling out with us.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's all right, you know, it's a Monday and there's super cool indie games being shown by Guerrilla and Steam, so it's a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day. Thanks for hopping on. The game looks amazing, by the way. I know a lot of people are anticipating it. And we're
we've gotten a lot of wish lists, a lot of attention, and it's a shame we can't, go to conventions anymore, but I'm glad that there's events like this so people can still find out about it and see what they like. And this demo has never been shown outside of a convention floor, so this is pretty nerve-wracking, but also exciting.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I remember like when we were working with you guys to showcase it last year, we were trying to get you on the stream and you were like, not yet. But so it's cool to actually be able to showcase.
But yeah, I remember seeing this in the fucking Nintendo Direct the first time, Indie Direct or whatever.
It's a dating sim / dungeon crawler.
It's such a weird concept.
You alternate between the two parts of the game. You spend a lot of time in the dungeon, and in that dungeon you find treasure, and you fight monsters, and you find new weapons, and then those weapons become beautiful people, and if you want to get more skilled with that weapon and find new abilities, then you gotta date them. You could also just be friends. Platonic weapon relationships are possible. But yeah, you choose who you want to hang out with, and then you choose who you want to fight with. And meanwhile, there's other people you can text message here, go shopping, live your best life in Verona Beach, California.
Nice. What was the inspiration behind your game coming up with this? It's a really interesting idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing dungeon crawlers and RPGs and dating sims, and there's a few other games that have, decent combat and decent dating, but I never felt like I was able to date all the people I wanted to. And I don't know, I also felt like sometimes they were a little bit too serious. So I guess I wanted
I mean, at least they're trying to take it, like, not very seriously.
all the different kinds of people. And
It's like this kind of thing would be kind of weird if they were trying to make it super serious. Like,
that game still didn't really exist, so we had to make it.
Totally makes sense. It kind of reminds me, like when I first played it or saw it, it kind of initially reminded me of Persona, the old, like the one of the first two.
Did he just say it Persona?
Also, it
Persona, not Persona.
Weapons having kind of their own personality was Disgaea, just a little bit. But it's interesting that you have that aspect that each one of these characters is a weapon.
So you can see he's picking an upgrade ability there, and you can go back and change that later in the full game. There's a gym where you can change up your combos that you've picked. But yeah, every level of love rank up, you'll get either a new ability or a choice of two abilities. And yeah, we took. Okay, you're a swinger then. Good job. Yeah. I mean, or maybe that just means. Yeah. Yeah, we took inspiration from a lot of different places. I feel like we came up with something that's pretty unique. But yeah, I love each of the weapons because they're all so different.
How many weapons are there in the game?
So in the Kickstarter that we ran a couple of years ago, we announced 9. It looks like we're probably going to launch with 7 and then have 2 come out as free DLC afterwards.
Okay, cool.
At least free for Kickstarter backers. We haven't decided if we're gonna charge after that.
Makes sense. I can imagine that the creativity on your team goes wild trying to come up with new weapons. You know what I mean? Oh my God, there's this one that we want to create, and there's that one, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of weapons out there, and different. I was really surprised to find that so many people had a fondness for a certain kind of weapon. And 7 isn't, Borderlands or anything, number of weapons, but hopefully there's a good range of different kinds of personalities and different kinds of swords, and
yeah, it might not be Borderlands level, but I mean, if you're trying to make every single weapon essentially a unique character, you're not gonna have thousands of fucking weapons like fucking Borderlands.
And 2 non-binary people.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then a cat.
Oh, really? I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, he's little brass knuckles.
Nice.
This transformation sequence.
It's so sick.
Yeah, this is Tawar. He's going back to his human form to flirt better.
So tell us a little bit about the dungeon crawling sequence.
Yeah, so after this date, I assume you'll go into the dungeon. It's randomly generated, and the first dungeon that you unlock is a mall dungeon. And the dungeons are manifestations of your own fears and insecurities. So it's sort of like a form of therapy that's a little bit more violent. Okay. And so I'm not gonna spoil what all the symbolism is of the different enemies in the mall dungeon, but then later a nightclub dungeon is also unlocked, and you'll get to know this whole town over the course of the game. But so far we're planning 2 full dungeons, and then also a mini dungeon for the boss fight, and we'll see if there's more for the DLC as well. But there's 12 floors you have to fight through. And if you make it through 4 floors, you'll earn an elevator. You'll unlock an elevator, so you can skip through the first 4 floors.
Okay, cool. And you said they're randomly generated every time.
Randomly generated, yeah. And there's these different enemies you can fight, and you're gonna level up both in terms of love with your weapon that you're wielding, but also you yourself will gain experience points and level up your wielder level. So that's your overall strength. And there's also little hangouts you can find in the dungeon. So little little places you can go and spend a few extra minutes together to like unwind and enjoy the scenery.
Use your boba, son. Use your boba.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta heal yourself with your bubble tea. Although we have settings, you can change it. If you're not a big fan of bubble tea, you can always get coffee. Boyfriend Dungeon supports different kinds of beverage.
Nice. So, can you unveil like one of the metaphors behind the enemies?
Sounds like it's kind of like
cell phones,
similar to like Dead Cells, how you have an option where you choose your preferred type of food, and it's like carnivore and like vegetarian, and then like there's some like ones like literally just baguettes. Every food is a baguette.
And he says there's a few possibilities. He thinks maybe it has to do with, feeling a little bit cold and stagnant. Like why are they all sort of older technologies? And so is it about a fear of stagnation? Is it about a fear of getting outdated? Is it a fear of technology? You'll find out as you go. But the main focus of the game is the relationship with your weapons, but there is sort of this undercurrent of you as a player being this person who's never dated anyone before, and you move to a new town, and you go to the dungeon, and you fight monsters, and meet all these beautiful people, and hopefully you're confronting your fears a little bit too. But yeah, you can see if you vary up your light attacks and heavy attacks, you'll get different combos. And since you unlocked, you're level 2 now, you're going to have bleeding effects on the enemies. And so as you level up with Talwar, you'll get better and better options for how to control your bleeding effects and get more damage over time going on more different kinds of enemies. But that's Talwar's specialty.
Okay.
It looks like there's a treasure chest, but it depends if you wanna go deeper, go get that treasure chest.
Oh.
I'm looking at your mini map in the upper right.
Oh, upper right. Oh, is it the staircase? Is that what that is?
The staircase is how you move
Exit.
further down.
Oh, but there's a treasure chest.
Yeah, right over there.
Down this way. Okay.
I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to.
Let's go.
Have to collect all the treasure. But
you need to.
They tend to be recipes that you can. Oh, it's a ambush.
Ambush.
But yeah, you'll find recipes so you can craft.
I mean, yeah, gameplay wise, this looks good, obviously, but like, yeah, I still think the concept is really weird though.
You can craft gifts to give to your dates when you're out with them on the town.
So when you go back home, you're able to craft different things with your recipes, or is it like in the dungeon during combat?
No. You get materials and recipes in the dungeon.
Okay. Cool.
Plastic is a new ingredient you've just found. But yeah, no, when you go back home, you can craft stuff to then take out with you.
Oh, nice.
And although it's not in the demo you can't craft, but it's working in the real game, I promise.
I assure you, it's working.
What are you launching on?
We have announced that we're launching on PC and Mac and Switch.
Cool, nice.
We don't have a release date. I'm sorry.
It's not.
Yeah.
Totally get that. Totally understand.
It's ready when it's ready.
Pandemic and everything is making it difficult. I think we had wanted to announce a date by now, but we're doing our best. We want the game to be really good. That's what we really want. We want all of this to be as good as it can be before it gets out into everyone's hands.
And
I think our Kickstarter backers have really high expectations. So.
It makes sense. You guys killed it with your Kickstarter, which is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. We met a lot of really great people. Our Discord blew up. We have a lot of really lovely folks of all different kinds that are cheering us on. And so we're not afraid of launching. We just really want it to be good because, at this point we've spent over 4 years on it, and it'd be a shame to spend 4 years and then release something that you didn't think was great,
Yeah, for sure. Same boat.
I mean, no matter what, you always have things you're going to want to change after launch, but...
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So are you in Montreal?
Yeah, we're Montreal studio.
How is your team
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, how's your team handling working remotely?
Pretty good, pretty good. We actually already had one work from home day every week anyway.
That's cool.
So we had the basics set up. Of course, I think people are getting a little bit lonely and restless now that it's been a while. Don't forget to drink your tea.
Where's my tea? Oh, LB. There we go.
Yep, yeah, drink the tea.
Yeah, feels better.
Ironically, that's actually what I'm drinking right now.
Wonder what that's
Got
about.
some green tea. Not bubble tea, but I do got green tea.
In there.
Some rando stuff.
Whoa, what's gonna happen?
Ooh.
Mysterious. Uh-oh.
Secret area.
You found a secret.
That was pretty dope.
Who are these
These
guys?
monsters are just hanging out. What are they doing?
So how do we find out more about the game? Is a demo coming out soon? Are you gonna release a demo or no?
Not immediately.
Okay.
We're probably going to wait on the demo for a little bit longer to release it to everybody. But
Cool.
you can wishlist the game on Steam. You can subscribe to our newsletter. If you go to boyfrienddungeon.com, you can read more about it. You can join our Discord. You can tweet at us. We have all the boyfriend details for you. And the community is really welcoming. So if you just want to make some new friends, maybe join and chat Boyfriend Dungeon with us anytime.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's awesome to
Thanks for having me.
get the game in our hands and play it. Dope.
Boyfriend Dungeon!
Thanks, Tanya.
Bye.
That was Tanya from Kit Fox Games, Boyfriend Dungeon, highly anticipated. Their community is crazy. It's pretty awesome. Up next, wait, let's shout out our sponsors and our partners. They've been amazing, helping us to make this happen. Idea Xbox.
But yeah, so up next, 30XX, as I said earlier, is like,
put this
it's
together.
not
We also
a
wanna
bad
shout out
game,
to
it's
our
just
media
not the
sponsors,
greatest,
Idea
and it's basically kind of like Mega Man.
The Idea Xbox.
Basically, kind of similar situation to My Number 9, but nowhere near as bad. Like, it's at least a somewhat decent game, and doesn't have all the controversy around it, but it's, yeah, definitely still not anywhere near up to like the level of like some of our Mega Man style games. Or, of course, official Mega Man.
UNICEF, NAACP, and the Game Heads through our charity link below. It's definitely will help some folks out. But
finally an hour in.
Yes. We have 30XX, the sequel to 20XX. Run the trailer.
Oh, I didn't even realize there was a sequel though, but yeah. I guess, yeah, the original was called 20XX, but okay, well. Maybe it was the original that had the bad thing, maybe they fixed in the sequel, I don't know, yeah. All I know for sure is I'm not playing myself, so I can't really comment that much, I guess, but I think I technically do own it, like, probably through like one of those free giveaways. Let me actually check GOG Galaxy, because I think I do actually own it on some platform. Can't remember which one, but...
That was 30XX, the sequel to 20XX or 2000XX. Here we got Chris King. We're going to play the game. Highly anticipated. How's it going?
Hello.
Damn encoding overloads.
Good. Yeah, thanks for sharing the game. When I saw that you guys like entered 30XX, I was like, oh my god, because like 20XX, like I mean, for me personally, as a a developer and loving Capcom games, that kind of thing, it kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, what is this? At first I was like, is this a Mega Man clone? And then I was like looking at how you guys were developing it and evolving the game, and it was like, what? This is, obviously it pays homage, but it's a different type of experience. And to see that you guys like made that, it was successful, and then you guys are making this one, and the art looks gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us a little?
Apparently, opening GOG Galaxy is probably causing encoding overloads, but
genre with this game.
Yeah, of course.
Now it's open at
So
least, so it should be done.
Obviously, we're
now.
super happy with how well 20XX did for us. It was our first commercial game. None of us had made games before. It was the first time we'd really come to this, and so, first time game development's really spicy business, right? So being able to have the studio still be around at this point is super exciting to us. But even after having spent 5 years,
okay, yeah, I don't see it.
We still had so much
like maybe I don't know
to do with the formula. There's still so much room to improve, so much room for the game to grow, and we knew.
Wait a second, I think I remember now.
high fidelity.
I didn't own it, but back when
we always kind of wanted to
Discord did the Nitro game subscription thing, I think it was included. Which so obviously I can't play it anymore because
so it just made sense
they shut that down. But
make a full sequel.
Yeah.
Nice. I think you should. Can we play multiplayer? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll wait till he dies. If he
time.
dies, then which will certainly happen.
I will die for sure. All right.
So, can you tell us a little bit about, like, I don't know, I'm obviously interested in the process, but tell us about the game.
Sure. So 30XX is kind of like co-op roguelike Mega Man X. So it controls a lot like the classic action platformers of the 90s era, except with far crisper controls than are possible during that area because we have much better like PC refresh rates now, right? So we're able to process your inputs way faster. So it's going to be crisper than was ever possible back then. But so it's kind of like that action platformer style, but everything's randomly generated every time you play through it. So the level sets you're going to see are going to be different. You're going to get powers in a different order. So you can make that jump, and your dash by default should be on either right bumper or right trigger, depending on your settings. But we don't practice that right here.
Yeah.
This is a fun piece to get right at the beginning of a demo. Maybe we'll see co-op after all. So hit those little crystals as you go. They spawn little platforms. Oh, that was fast. We're gonna pretend. No, that was very obviously on purpose, so we can test.
We're doing
totally.
Bingo. That's exactly. So go to that little hit multiplayer, hit couch co-op, and then hit A.
Do it again.
I'm sorry, hit. I think you both hit it. Yeah, there you go.
Hit B. Okay.
So now we have one Nina and one Ace.
Let's make this happen. You're gonna have to run through this because playing this style of game and then asking questions is a rough business.
It's tough. Yeah, you really gotta focus. So you're moving around. You're dashing. If you jump while you dash, you're gonna do like a long jump that you can cross much bigger gaps with.
Wait, so you dash? This is interesting playing. Now I was talking mad stuff, and now I can't even get up. Oh, I get it. Okay.
You gotta go a little higher, and then you got it. There it is. Nice.
Okay.
Trial by fire. Everything's great. You notice the camera zooms out a bunch in co-op.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's cool to play this. It's like when I died, but as a kid, you always wanted to play these style of games with somebody. So having that component is really
that's exactly where we were, right? When we first started making 20XX, we really just wanted the ability to have some kind of cooperative play in these kinds of games because we always wanted them growing up, right? Growing up, you had to share the controller.
Yeah.
Your brother wants to play, and you have a really hard lesson.
Wow.
About having difficult chunks at the beginning of a demo that's streamed in front of a bunch of people.
It's good. The game is challenging, which is great.
It is challenging. This is a very early pre-alpha for us. This is super early stuff. We've obviously spent time polishing the demo, but since it's a roguelike, since we're going to throw random level pieces at you, every so often we're going to have pieces that are maybe a little more difficult than we intend to be really early at the beginning of a demo show up. Like, this looks much more reasonable. No required precise wall jumps. Just probably where you ought to be on level 1 of a demo. I have some work to do after this.
But I love
to be fair, that probably was a bit too hard to throw at the very beginning of a demo. So,
I teach you to do that.
Definitely not just on their gameplay.
Kill you right there and just wrecking
you.
He's
dead.
So because it's a roguelike, anytime you fall in lava or touch a spike or anything like that, we're just going to do a little bit of damage to you and set you back instead of straight up killing you. There are optional difficulty toggles, of course, that let you turn on auto kill spikes, but pretty unfriendly for a game like this where we expect you to get through on one shot.
Yeah.
Let's go down.
There you go.
So how's the game laid out as far as progression?
That is an awesome question. So in 20XX, there are 4 basic level themes you play through twice every time you play through a run of the game. Where a run of the game is 8 levels that are themes, 8 main sequence stages that are in a semi-random order. The player has some level of control over the order in which they tackle the stages, but not complete control. So in a Mega Man game, you finish a stage and there's 7 stages left, right? You can pick whatever one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting chased, run.
Ah! Got smashed by the wolf spikies.
And maybe don't touch the fire. So the big thing you're noticing here, and this is critical to our process here, right, is that you're making progress. Each of these runs has gotten further than the last.
Yes, we're getting better.
You absolutely are.
We're learning machines.
Yeah, in 30XX, each boss, each main sequence stage has his own entire unique set this time. Oh, it's this piece again. Oh, look at that.
See that? I learned.
Yeah.
I learned it. Did it.
Not
All
even
right.
close. Love to see it.
Oh. Oh, it's this. Yeah. I'm gonna start.
There it is. Nina's got it.
Okay.
So this should also still work in the demo, but if Ace holds B for a couple seconds, you should be able to like teleport up to your teammate.
Oh, what? B?
Just a co-op feature. And then let it go.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, schnooks.
That's definitely pretty handy. You can help people, your teammate
You know,
through.
one of the things here is that we want to make sure that when you're playing 30XX with a friend, that it's always a fun experience, regardless of potential like skill disparities between players.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
that. That's cool.
one of the things that can get really tough, especially I think the onus for us adding that was definitely at one PAX with 20XX years ago. It was like a young father telling us that his kid absolutely loves the game, has so much fun with it, loves the characters, but just really struggles with some of the platforming segments.
Yeah.
And having the child able to like teleport up, meet the parent, made their experience a million times better. So we spent a little time, shopped that, and got it in. And of course, we want to make sure that all of the lessons we learned while we were making 20XX carry over to 30XX. We don't want to backslide in anything here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I haven't even seen this piece.
I was gonna say for if you're playing with kids, that's really important. That's really awesome that you did that.
Yeah, we want the game, so obviously at the top end, like with this kind of game, hey, a revive capsule. Hey, it's good to know those work in the demo. Free testing, yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh man, that was convenient. Yeah, we gotta make sure that while the game needs to be properly challenging at the top end, like if you grew up with these kind of games, you want the super spicy, intense, like perfect platforming.
Only the
that's sort of
spiciest.
tougher, like harder top end of these games really can afford. Hey, box. Hey, some health and some money.
I got
Nice.
items.
Can he teleport
Got some
down to
stuff.
me?
Yeah, so don't do it on a fire.
Yeah.
Try it. Go down that. Yeah, there you go. So it should work pretty much anywhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right,
How
you're
big
gonna
is-
come up on this chase section again?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we know that we don't want to get hit by the wolf spikes.
Oops.
Don't want to get hit by spikes. Well,
Fire.
Flame.
Dash it out,
No, I
run.
want to kill. Oh, look at that!
Everything's
Look at my
fine.
skills on.
Nothing is broken.
That's.
Oh! I thought my
All right, a little further.
So close.
my skills were
Deeper into
impeccable.
level than last time.
We're getting super
better.
fun. How big is your team?
It really depends on how you measure. There are 8 or so of us working on 30XX right now, all of which in different capacities. If you're adding up everybody's like full-time contributions, it's probably more like 6. It's myself doing tech creative design. We've got 2 lovely artists, one doing characters and sprite work. That's Glauber Kataki. If you recognize this kind of sprite style from either like Rogue Legacy or Chasm or Duelist, same guy. It's
Oh
wonderful.
yeah, cool.
The tiles and the backdrops and all that stuff is Fabian Jastrzemski, a German environment artist. They've both been lovely. Brandon Ellis, our composer in Georgia, with all the sweet tunes that you've got to have.
Yeah.
Nice. And we've got sorry, I'm getting a little too into the weeds about individual team members, but
No,
everybody
it's
is
good.
lovely. They're about 8
It's
of us.
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's about twice the size of 20XX's team. It's been solid. So remember, you can teleport up.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport over there. Oh no!
And that was a bad teleport.
All right, one more teleport. He teleported up while you were in midair, and then he fell back down the hole. All right.
I was wondering.
Pretty
I was
pro
wondering if that
moves.
was possible, or. But yes, it is. So you got to be careful when you teleport.
Nice.
I like the rogue aspects, just the variety and not knowing exactly what you're faced, but the skills are maintained. That's really interesting.
Exactly. That's the core of the design right there, right? So we love these precise adaptations. We love seeing a situation, thinking, what's in my toolkit that lets me respond to this, and then adapting and mastering the game, right?
But yeah, no, this would definitely be me if I played something like this. I am not good at wall jumps.
Like die a bunch of times.
I always fall back down.
No indication of where the blocks are appearing.
Whoa.
So we throw different pieces at you every time. Obviously, it's a very early roguelike. Like, we're still very early in the process. We're not even in early access yet. We got a ways to go there. But there's still a pretty decent amount of level generation here.
That's awesome. So when are you releasing? Do you have a date?
That is a great question. We don't have a firm date yet. We're definitely going to do early access. So early access for 20XX. If anybody watching either played 20XX or saw it during early access, you know that we were in early access for 2.5 years, about really long time. The only reason we're still here, the only reason the studio is still here, the only reason we get to make a new game is because our incredible early access community on 20XX gave us the feedback and the resources and the pushes we need to make the game great. So we'd be really foolish to not do early access this time around. So early access is definitely coming. Probably sometime between this fall and next spring. We've been telling people it's like a 70% chance that it's somewhere in that window, but it depends on a lot of stuff. And then 1.0 is sometime after that. You know, we can't hit a 1.0 release date until we know exactly how much stuff we got to get done in early access.
That totally makes sense. The game is gorgeous. It's really fun to play. And you're releasing on what platforms initially? I know you said early access, so that'll be Steam, right?
Right, so Steam. So PC first for sure. Our official line right now is PC and consoles. We don't know which consoles yet. We're still working on that.
Totally makes sense. Can you wishlist now?
You can wishlist now, and as of right this moment, right here, right now, you can actually play our Steam Festival demo, this demo, early, now, right now, actually right now. You can click it and have fun. You can Google 30XX Steam. It'll probably pop up pretty easily there. Unlike 20XX, we have a little bit better SEO this time around, thankfully.
Yeah.
And of course, you can wishlist it. Yeah, please.
Wishlist the game. Play the game. The game is really cool.
And then, like, you can Google 30XX Steam. Like, why not just search Steam itself?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so proud of the team we put together.
So you don't need the SSO if you don't even have to use Google.
To where it is now, and I want to shout out the community for having been so supportive of us while we've been building it. Without you guys, we are nothing and we have nothing, and we're so happy that you're here for the journey.
Dope. Thanks you so much. Thanks for
of course. Thank you guys. Take care.
All right. That was 30XX. It's coming along so great. Make sure to wish list it and check out their Steam page. Next up, we have West of Dead. Adam is going to be joining us. Let's roll to the trailer.
Okay, so West of Dead now.
Purgatory, Wyoming, 1888.
Well, I mean, you can still search Steam's website on mobile. But I mean, but also consider this, like, the entire thing they're saying is like, oh yeah, download our demo right now on Steam by searching this. You can't download the demo on your phone anyway. So, like, you wouldn't really be searching on the phone to begin with. You'd just wait till you get home to your computer to download the demo.
I got a job to do. But it ain't always that simple. Some say a coward dies 1,000 deaths, and a hero only dies once. I says, a hero is someone who keeps coming back.
That was the amazing trailer of West of Dead. We got Adam on the line. What is popping, Adam? How you doing?
Can you hear me? Good, very good, thank you. Excited.
I like your poster. Logan is sick.
Oh yeah, I've got loads of rubbish up here, loads of daft stuff.
Yeah, so we've been playing the game. Like, congratulations! It looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's so awesome to have the actors you have involved with it. The game is
very
gorgeous.
lucky.
Yeah, how did that even come about?
Well, I'd like to say it was completely by design, 100% skill. It was our plan the whole time, but really, it only happened when we teamed up with Raw Fury, and
Okay.
they saw something a lot bigger in the game than we had the confidence. Being British, we're low on confidence. They had a lot more confidence in the title and what we were making than we presumed to have. So they said, "Oh, you guys, who would be your ideal, actor to be the narrator in this game?" And we were like, "Well, Ron Perlman." They'll never
Yeah.
get him, and they
God damn
did. So we thought they were joking most of the time, and then they said, "No, we really have got him." And so that was a bit of a dream come true for us, to be honest.
That's cool. Yeah, shout out to Raw Fury. They've been amazing with the working with us on the Guerrilla Collective, and then showcasing your game. Some exclusive stuff was pretty awesome. I mean, we've been following this game for a while, and yeah, having Ron Perlman, it definitely adds notoriety, but also to the theme, because it sounds so rich.
Yeah, no, definitely. He was by far the top of our list. So yeah, we're very, very lucky.
So tell us about the game and like how you came up with the whole idea. Your team came up with the idea and the design.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, what we usually like to say is that a person had a very clear idea on everything. That isn't how this happened at all. It was very much a bucket list of things that we love. So we love comic books, and we love different flavors of shooters, and we love like horror games as well. And we had all these different ideas about things that might be really fun. And we decided to try and put it all in one package and see what happens. Luckily for us, it seemed to come together into something that has its own sort of voice, which I'm literally quite proud of.
So tell us a little bit about the mechanics as he's smashing.
So as you can see, you can see straight away that we were trying to meld two different shooter genres that very rarely have anything to do with one another. So we're big fans of twin-stick shooters, but we also wanted to see what could happen if we brought cover mechanics into the center of the twin-stick experience. And that was quite novel for us. We hadn't seen that done or combined in that way before, and that meant quite a lot of prototyping and testing as always to try and figure that out. But we're trying to get this clear sense of like a Western style gunfight where you crouch behind cover, count your bullets, dash out,
that's cool,
do some damage, and then get back into cover again. And nearly every system in the game is to try and do one of two things. The baddies are either trying to get you out of cover, or if you're out of cover, they're trying to get you back into cover again. So it's got a very quite unique staccato pace to it.
And the cover is breakable and explodes and stuff like that as you go along.
Yes.
So they're trying to destroy the cover while you're trying to kill them.
Absolutely, yeah. So with the classic Western shootouts, you'll dive behind cover, reload your weapons, and you have a boost to how quickly you can reload when you're behind cover. So there's good reasons to get in there. But cover doesn't last forever. The great thing about it, though, is you can shoot from cover with complete impunity. If you're behind cover, even if you're shooting, the cover's going to take the damage, not you. But it doesn't last forever.
Nice. That's really cool. It does definitely look like a living, breathing comic book, which is...
Oh, thank you very much.
I really
That's exactly what we were hoping to hear.
All the characters have a lot of like interesting design. He's got the red cape and kind of like the Ghost Rider flame, but then he has this like... I'm an art dude, so like, looking at that, this is the first thing I kind of key into, but he has like the slash across his skull, which is really like makes him stand out. I could definitely see figures and stuff made from this character.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think a lot of our sort of love for different comic books shone through in a lot of the designs, especially when it came to like the main characters and that appear in the title for sure. Very good. You're playing well. Oh, as you can see, we've had to use quite a lot of interesting things with the different weapons you have as well. So shotguns have a very short range compared to rifles. And there's about 4 different flavors of weapons. There's rifles, shotguns, pistols, and revolvers. And each of these squeeze the player into a different corner of the gameplay. So shotguns are great close up and have a wide arc, but you've really got to get out from cover to get close enough to use them most of the time, unless you're willing to sit put and wait for something to come to you.
So can you tell us about or tell the world about the story and the narrative behind what's going on?
Yeah, love to, absolutely love to. So we are doing quite a riff of the kind of like a stranger in town, sort of classic Western style story. You don't know who you are, you don't know who you were, but you know that there is a new place that you need to clean up. And but this place, different from other Westerns, is set in the afterlife, but not your classical kind of Christian style afterlife that we taught. It's its own place, it's got its own kind of lore, and this is a place which is shaped by the memories and fears of the souls that are stuck there. And normally the souls will pass through, everything's fine, and they face some kind of judgment. The good ones head east and the bad ones are sent west. But for some reason, purgatory is stuck. People aren't leaving when they should, and that's because something's gone wrong, which is what you're there to sort out. Oh, nice shot.
That was like a money shot for sure. I can't wait to see some of the bosses. I bet you the design is outstanding.
Oh, we've had a lot of fun designing a lot of these enemies. I mean, the other thing about the story is, with the structure is a kind of a roguelite structure, so you never know what's around the next corner. We want that to... we really want to make the players' skill build up and keep facing them with new surprises each run. But trying to mesh that with a clear story is a bit of a challenge, actually.
Yeah,
so we had to start thinking about the story not as a straight line, but as a spiral that goes back around and back around to the same points. And what can we tell the player in these known little areas of the game, and which is usually in between levels, it turns out. So there's a little cast of characters who will tell you a bit about themselves, a bit about your past, as well as recurring...
Yeah, as I don't really have much to say about this game. Like, definitely doesn't look bad, but
so
I don't really have anything.
The enemy distribution is randomized. And
just listen to what they say.
Is the cover randomized, or the levels randomized, or just mostly the enemy distribution?
It is. So every room... sorry, you're speaking to the coder here, so stand back. I'm going to start going into detail.
Go in.
So every room that you're in has been thought of as like a dozen different flavors of encounters. Cool. So there's lots of different places where it might be a good place to have cover. It might be a good place to have a column in the way. And then also the rooms are all combined in different orders. The contents of the room is different every time. And also we have basically a magic bucket of baddies that we put in a certain number of points, and you say, give us 30 points of baddies, and it will shake itself and then pour out a few baddies for each room. So that allows us to have some degree on the exact number of enemies that you might have, but we kind of make recipes of enemies. So we always want to have one of these guys as a minimum, but we can never have more than 2 of these types of baddies. So when we throw that through a computer, we end up with what we hope is a best of both, where there are rules and structure to the kind of encounters that you have. It will never be a mob of purely melee guys. At the same time, it won't be the same every time either. It'll be different for every single room, every single run.
That's cool. Yes.
I was wondering about health, because I was like, it looked like I went to a room where I was like, was I saving my progress there? What was the...
That's right, yeah. So if the skull flashes in the bottom right corner, yeah, so that ring, those are save points. So you can recover your run back from there if you haven't died. So if you have to go and make a cup of tea or coffee, you can come back and continue your run from there. So it's got an in-game save, so you can runs can get pretty long. So if you're like, oh, I'm an hour in, but I don't want to lose my run, you can stop and come back later on. And also,
that's nice.
It's a roguelite, so there are extra abilities that you can permanently unlock. For example, a health flask, which lets you have 1 heal per run, followed by a better health flask with 2 heals per run, or rather 2 heals per level. And these things...
So basically, it's very Dead Cells-like there.
At the start of the runs.
So Dead Cells is the same thing. It's like
on how confident
upgrading your health flask.
You can, if you really need to, grind it a little bit just to give yourself a bit of a leg up. Or if you're feeling, super on it from the start, you can get further without having to die too many times.
This game is... West of Dead looks dope, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really cool. People are gonna definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely love the visual style.
Right now, can you wish list on Steam? I saw that you can play the demo on Xbox, right?
Yes, you can. So you can play the demo on Xbox and Steam. It is currently on an open beta.
Definitely interesting that they got a demo on Xbox.
I can't see any notifications popping up. So if you play the open beta, I think you can get a discount on the launch, which is on Thursday.
Thursday is the launch, so everybody pick that up. Make sure to.
So basically, yeah, I'm too late to get the discount if I wanted to buy it.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Because I didn't get around to watching this.
About you and your team and
anything
else you want to talk about?
Yeah, please. So we are Upstream Arcade. Google us. We should be there. I won't do that right now. But, yeah, Google us. Find out a bit more about us. And this is West of Dead. And yeah, the team got a very small team, only 4 people.
Oh, really?
The central team. So we're very excited / nervous and hope that everyone has a lot of fun playing it.
Cool. Thanks so much. Thanks, Adam. That was West of Dead. The game is cool. Shout out to Raw Fury again for hooking them up with Ron Perlman and just being amazing publishers. Next up, we have System Shock. Check out the trailer.
Okay. So this is a classic franchise. And I'm making a new one. This is still such a weird trailer, because it's the same one they had like the PC Gaming Show or whatever, and it's like, the music does not fit the fucking trailer at all. Like, chill elevator music, guy shooting gun and like killing things and yeah, in a very like spooky environment, and you got elevator music as your trailer music.
So that was the System Shock trailer, which we showed yesterday on the Guerrilla Collective for the first time. The game looks really amazing. Here we have Stephen Kick, CEO of Night Dive Games, and it's great to have you here to talk with us, the CEO of Night Dive. How's it going?
Good, good. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here to talk Shock.
I thought you said talk shop or talk shiznits. No, it's so awesome to have you. I'm a big fan of like a lot of the stuff that you've remastered and the games that you've worked on previously. I think I was talking about like maybe a week before we knew you were going to be on the live stream about like Turok and Sin Gold and just a lot of the games that you guys worked on.
Night Dive honestly works on some really good stuff. They mostly just remaster other things lines, but like,
card, Voodoo 2 card,
but like, yeah, it's kind of nice to see him working on an original
janky
entry,
Celeron processor,
in an
but
old
playing all
series.
those games back in the day, they're like the first 3D games. So it's cool that you were
Actually
able
own Turok from like a bundle or something. I still haven't touched it.
Congratulations on the success that you've had so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you could say kind of the core philosophy of Night Dive has been to go out and find those games that you and I both played as kids and be able to resurrect them so that not only we can enjoy them, but new generations can enjoy them as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about like how System Shock came to be, this version of it?
This version of it. Okay, so Night Dive started at the beginning of 2012 with the re-release of System Shock 2, which up to that point had not seen a digital re-release of any kind. And the success of that is kind of what catapulted Night Dive into the business of going out and finding other IP and other games to resurrect.
Oh, cool.
And System Shock was just one of those games that once we had the rights to it, we knew was kind of owed a remaster or a re-release of some kind, because as good as it was back in 1994, it was very obtuse. The control scheme was kind of notoriously difficult to master. 3D was still kind of on the cusp of widespread use in the industry. It was up against games like Doom, so it just didn't really have the chance to really breathe and to show what it had to offer. And so we thought it was just the perfect game to breathe new life into. And so we've completely redone the game from the ground up in Unreal Engine 4. It started off as a Kickstarter project back in 2016, and it's grown and evolved to what we're playing now.
What were some of the things that you did to make it more accessible?
This one's going to seem fairly obvious, but even adding something as simple as mouse look does wonders for it. The original didn't have that. It's kind of hard to explain, but you had to kind of click and drag the screen around to move the viewport.
That sounds disgusting.
Mouse look into the original. But this game is going to play very much like a contemporary first-person shooter. We're going to add in tutorial tooltips to help people along the way so they understand what these implants do that you're installing now. The combat and everything is going to be familiar to anybody who's played a first-person shooter in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, this is a game that definitely benefits from an upgrade.
Yeah, pretty much any FPS from that era benefits from an upgrade because the controls were terrible.
Of, how it looks, not only but gameplay too. And I was noticing that as you get close to things, they still have this sort of pixelated. Let me go to something like this, this pixelated art style, which is very reminiscent of the. But then as you get farther away, you have that incredible lighting and those reflections and stuff. It looks awesome.
Yeah, thank you. This art style is something that we have taken a lot of pride in because we did want to pay homage to the original in some way artistically. And one of the first things we did was actually brought on the original concept artist and main artist from the original System Shock to re-envision all the environments, all the enemies, all the weapons, pretty much everything.
That's actually pretty cool.
And so
bring on the original artist.
We've not only got to see his evolution as an artist over the last 20 years, but also exactly how System Shock would look today if it were updated. So this is as true to a new realization of that as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pick up that ammo.
I just saw an email all sudden. I was just like, damn, about time, whatever. So, for context, I do a lot of those earning things, whatever. And
When I'm online
like
watching, it's always
Pepsi apparently launched this rewards program like a year ago, where it's like, oh yeah, you scan a thing, get things.
It was so hard
excuse
to
me, get
play,
PayPal cash.
back
Which
in
is
the
like,
day.
hey, that's cool. You know, a very simple reward program that actually gives you useful shit instead of like some like shit gift card or something you don't want. But stupidly, you couldn't just enter a code on one product. You had to combine products.
And this is
it's like,
obviously kind of
oh yeah, you had to buy both a drink and a bag of chips. It's like,
it's one of those
why,
things that
why not just let's enter in the single thing, even if it only gives
it's
us
so
half the
awesome
credit? Like
that you've done this, you've gone to this.
And apparently now they're doing
And
that.
this is
So
funny,
thank
too. It's
fucking
like,
God.
There was no way to do something like this, you know, with the textures that they had, where it's like, okay, enter the keypad here.
Yeah, you know what I just noticed is you're playing with a gamepad, and
yeah,
it might be a lot more difficult, just because we haven't really implemented full controller support yet. Like, it seems like you're getting by.
Yeah.
But when the game does come out on, you know, PlayStation and Xbox and games that are going to use that control scheme, it's going to be a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, they didn't even optimize it for
Yeah,
gamepad.
Definitely understand that.
They're playing on gamepad. Maybe they should tell them that before they start playing.
This is the original audio, right? From
Yes, so right now all the audio logs and Shodan's audio is from the original game, and that's purely temporary.
Okay.
We figured, hey, we've got the audio, let's use that to stub in while we're developing, and then as we kind of near the end of development, we'll go ahead and re-record all this audio with professional voiced actors and new lines.
Right. I was wondering that, and it is a nice touch, though. It, you know, maybe as a something that, you know, an option. I don't know if you're gonna keep it, but it is fun to hear the old stuff.
I remember playing this, and those dudes creeped me the hell out.
Yeah.
It's still creepy as hell.
You may want to use a meta patch pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Okay, how do I do that?
This is where
it's it's the red one all the way to the left.
Oh, okay. This one.
Yeah.
And how do I click it? And
I wish I could tell you on the keyboard. It's you just hit 1 on the keyboard.
1. Okay, hold on. I've got a keyboard. Wait, I have to get out of this. Do I? Oh,
there you go. You could use use like that. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh, nice. See, the gamepad is working.
Yeah, if I just knew,
make it happen.
If I was good at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, and I can select my gun.
So the demo is out now, which is awesome that everybody can play it, and you can wishlist it now on Steam, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's out on GOG and Steam currently.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And when you release, are you going to release multi-platform simultaneously, or are you going to release PC first?
A simultaneous release is the plan, so we'll be hitting PlayStation, Xbox, and PC all at the same time. But we're still a little ways off from that, so we'll see. But that is the plan.
That makes sense. You don't have a release yet, or do you have one?
It's to be decided.
Makes sense.
When it's done. I mean, we're kind of at that stage right now where we've invested so much time.
Yeah.
Well, you're dead.
Dead, son.
I can deal with this.
Oh, maybe.
No.
You got deaded.
We've invested so much time and so much love and passion in this project, really, that it's going to be done when it's done. I know as cliched as that sounds, it's like this is going to be perfect when it's released, and we're not going to make any exceptions.
It totally makes sense. I mean, it's like a masterpiece. I know a lot of people were waiting for the trailer, and when they saw the updated trailer yesterday, they went crazy. So that it's awesome to see that kind of love, you know, get pushed back into something that you love, you know.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of that is kind of owed to just the lineage that System Shock has, which spans as far as, you know, the BioShock games, Prey, Dishonored, pretty much any immersive sim that's come after that is, owes its existence to System Shock. And there's a lot of fans waiting for this. And we know you're waiting very patiently, and we're doing our best to deliver something that's going to be memorable and that it's going to be worth the wait.
Cool. Well, it was great having you on board. Thank you so much, Steven, for showing the game and talking about it. It's cool to like see how the sausage is made, and for folks in the chat, to learn about it too. So yeah, shout out. Do you
Thank you guys.
How could we find more about your team and the game?
You can go to systemshock.com. That's the easiest one. And we do actually still have a backer kit open for those who still want to back the project and score some really cool swag at the same time. We've got collector's editions, t-shirts, art books, all that stuff is up for pre-order right now. And yeah, if you just kind of want to follow Night Dive Studio, you can follow us on Twitter. It's Night Dive Studio because we ran out of characters like you guys did.
Yeah, Guerrilla collect. I know how that is. So
yeah,
for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and everybody go try out the demo.
Yeah,
and wish list. It's gonna be dope.
Cool. Thank you guys.
All right.
Awesome.
That was System Shock. You did really well with the controller.
I did better. I'm super excited about this game. This whole genre, like he was saying, like the games that have come after this, it's had such an impact on the industry, and super excited that they're not going to release it until they're ready, because this is a super important game. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, let's shout out our sponsors again. We got Carlos Bordeaux coming up with the Eternal Cylinder. I know you guys were looking for in the chat. We're looking for that to roll you guys over. Yeah. And it's coming up next.
This game.
Shout out to Idea Xbox, Razor, Fully Illustrated, Wilmer Sound, AV Society, Astro. We got a Razor machine here. They've been dope. Also, shout out to IGN and Idea at Xbox again, GameSpot and Twitch for really supporting the Guerrilla Collective. We couldn't have done it without their help showing these games again. These independent game developers, large and small, came together to do this because there was a lack of E3, and we wanted to get visibility for the games that we've been spending so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears to make. Yes, please also, if you have in your heart of hearts, contribute to UNICEF, NAACP, or Gameheads through the link below. And we are going to be rolling literally into the next game. Yes, here's the trailer for Eternal Cylinder.
Okay, yeah, so we already saw this trailer earlier.
Far from here, beyond the furthest star, a cataclysm threatens an entire planet. But light shines through the smallest of cracks. In the path of destruction, no one survives alone.
And that was the beautiful trailer for the Eternal Cylinder. We do have Carlos on board to talk about the game. We're going to play the game. Hey, what's up, Carlos?
Hello, how are you guys? Pretty good.
Great. The game looks amazing. I think the first time we played it was at Good Shepherd's like hidden area at Gamescom, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the game like when you first start. Was it in 2015, 2016?
Around 2015, 2016, I did a type of a small prototype I did with a colleague.
Yeah.
It wasn't expected to be like the official next Ace Team game that we were doing at the time. It was just a kind of a personal project, and we took it to a GDC, to show it around. But then it started catching the attention of people, and was like, wow, it seems like this is more than we anticipated, and it grew into this pretty large project. I would say definitely one of the biggest things we've done to date. So yeah, it's been quite a trip.
The game is so dope that people are accusing it of breaking the stream.
Yes, I
yesterday. And we're gonna
it doesn't break this one.
Yeah, it definitely. We hope so. When the cylinder comes, run, because we don't want the stream to be steamrolled. We are going to be making a moat because everyone's so good in the chat. I know everyone's talking stuff in the chat right now. Shout out to the chat for being very hilarious and vocal. But we're going to play the game.
Sure.
I love it just calling out the chat because the chat's probably like,
cool.
oh, this is probably like shit or something like that.
State. It's going to be great.
Well, I can let you.
The voice inside the Trebum's memory.
Maybe you're the big. Yeah, start. Go to the main menu and maybe start from the beginning.
Okay, let's do that.
That is going to show the new game.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, just walk us through it. The gameplay and what's going on.
So it's definitely a different game. It's a game about these little creatures which are being introduced here in this intro cinematic, which are the Trebum. The Trebum are directly inspired by Qbert. It's this funny little head creatures with a trunk and two legs, very similar, but they have this ability to mutate and eat things in the environment and transform. So you're a family of these little creatures that are born in this alien world. As you see, as soon as you exit the intro cinematic, you start right there right in front of the cylinder, and they're tossed. You appear in this very hostile alien world, and it's a survival game, but not a survival game. It's an adventure game, but not an adventure game. It's really something that's quite different. People have been comparing it to Spore, but really nothing like Spore at all. It's not. Maybe the looks of some of the creature designs and stuff like that, but it's its own thing.
Yeah, this feels really unique.
It's very intuitive, like how you have to combine different elements,
run
things that you have to.
If you look backwards, you start and immediately you have this massive cylinder that's crushing the whole world. You don't know what's going on. And one of the big difficulties we've had with the project is definitely the technical aspect is pretty big in this project, because we have everything that's being destroyed here is actually dynamic. It's not that we faked it only for we didn't only fake it for the introduction of the game at the scene. Like many games, maybe have some very cool starting setup where you had lots of maybe particles and stuff, but the truth is that for this game, the cylinder is rolling at times all the time, and it can get to it can go pretty fast. So we had to have all sorts of different solutions for static objects, solid objects like rocks and things that you can see kind of break and explode, but we also have the trees that bend and many different things, the creatures that can crush and stuff.
Yeah. He was making me nervous, kept looking behind him. I was like, look forward.
Yeah,
we're going.
At the beginning, we had the cylinder going at a stable speed, and people were dying in the very first minutes of the game, so we don't want that to happen. But right now that the cylinder has stopped, you start getting introduced into the first basic things that the creature starts. And as you'll see, you get these kind of weird grasshoppers, and they drop this little egg there. And if you eat it and choose it, you'll notice one of the main features of the game. Right now, our little friend is eating that piece, and boop, you grow these grasshopper legs, which allow you to sort of jump out of the ditch and sort of start exploring and playing around. So the game is separated in a structure that's not very typical compared to other titles, in a sense that, yes, it is procedurally generated, the terrain, but at certain moments we have the game go into like pre-designed areas where we want to further the narration of the game, where we want to further the story, and do specific puzzles or specific areas. So if you, for instance, if you can see that fish over there, the one that's swimming over there. If you can go and eat it, try going there and eat. Yeah, exactly. If you go out and eat it, you'll notice that you'll acquire another mutation. The mutations stack on each other. Not all of them, but now you have a big body, so this allows you to have a bigger inventory. You have to be. This game has a lot of features. You have a stamina wheel for swimming, and all mutations can alter different aspects of the trouble in many ways. So these are.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure.
No, talk about it. This thing is crazy looking.
Yeah, that's one of the animals of the game. They just wander around there. Those are.
Those roll over.
They can try to roll over you, and so there's a lot of things that roll over you in this game. But we have like this whole ecosystem of different alien creatures, and they're separate by different biomes. So we have this is like the main, what we call the alien savanna biome, and you go around there. You can go to the first elder. There's an elder over there, which is gonna introduce you to one of the aspects.
I like the roll.
You can roll.
It's so dope.
Yeah, we made Rock of Ages.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. It's like reminiscent.
We like rolling, so.
That's cool.
Surrounded by this light, the Trebhum knew.
So as I was saying, there's different biomes with totally different types of environments, and there's different creatures that you'll encounter. They range in scale and size. And some are predators, some are herbivores, some are very dangerous, some are not dangerous at all. We're trying to make this kind of ecosystem in which the player gets to explore. But what makes it unique also is the aspect of how progression goes on with the cylinders sort of forcing you to move forward, and we have to sort of build the world as you move forward. So we constantly have to load in the environment.
The inner voice said, "Run."
I will say, like, this is definitely a weird kind of game, but definitely an interesting concept.
These guys.
So now you should go to the tower that you see. You should roll to any of those two towers. You can check. You see the big red beam?
Yeah.
Go that direction, for instance. Okay. Yeah. Either of those.
He's getting nervous. You see that?
I'm panicking.
He's like walking slowly.
Freaking out.
The music is intended to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to reach that tower over there.
I'll make
This is the very beginning, so you're basically learning the.
Step on the symbol, or the cylinder would
That's
not
cool.
be stopped.
Later on in the game, the cylinder gets this red glow, and it really catches a lot of speed. I mean, it goes really, really fast. So you're basically racing your way for your life, and with all these little creatures, you have to really, really run away.
Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, that's we call him the Chomper.
Yeah, you should stand there and let him eat you, Alex.
I have to stay on the blue.
Oh.
I've got to stop the cylinder, right?
Stop it up. There we go.
So there you're safe, and you can.
I was scared. I thought Chomper was gonna smash you on while you were stopping it.
He's a vegetarian.
Wow.
So the structure of the game is a little bit like that, but not entirely. You have to remember that this is a kind of the onboarding aspect part of the game. So here's a little bit more peaceful. There are creatures that can actually kill you. But to the right, you'll notice there was this kind of snowy area that you can go over there. So that's a small, brief introduction to one of the different biomes. So If you go there, you'll notice that the treble will start shaking and because it's cold, and you're going to actually start losing health. But if you move to the left over there, I'm just cheating here. I'm telling you, you can see those like puffy balls near to those corals things that are right behind you. If you could go right back to the behind you, right behind you, where you see that sort of coral things.
Coral. Oh, this.
Looks like
yeah, those.
No.
Turn around.
Okay.
Turn around to go the other
Right
way.
there. Right there.
Right, into
Right.
the snow.
Into the snow. Okay.
Into the snow.
Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, I think. When you... Okay.
Yeah. There. You see the puffy purple balls to
Yeah.
the left. To the left.
Oh.
To your left.
The left.
There they are.
Yeah.
Eat one of those.
Okay.
Exactly. You can eat one of them. So not all ingredients give you a mutation. Some of them do, some of them don't. There's a reason for that. So this is a temporary mutation, but later you can make it permanent. But now you have a coat of fur. So this allows you to explore in this area, and you can find other Trebum who will join you in your adventure. So there's a lot of different aspects of how we allow people to explore different areas. So this is the chomper, but this is the furry one from the snow areas. You have to be careful.
Oh, cool.
He will eat you. He will eat you.
Yes, do not get eaten.
Okay, so he's not as vegetarian as I thought he might be.
No.
That's cool. And when you get when you get the different troubles, you could switch between them, right?
Yeah. For instance, there's one over there who's in his little home.
Oh, cool.
And now you have a little AA partner who will follow you, and that's a central aspect of the game is getting other Trebum and growing like this herd of little creatures, which is going to follow you during the adventure, and you can switch between them, and you can stack on them their own powers and their own abilities.
Yeah, that's definitely a weird concept, but definitely doesn't look terrible.
It's a narrative game where there's a reason for all this. It's just not a procedurally generated sort of world where you get to goof around. But that is a lot of fun in the game. But there's a purpose. There's more than a purpose. There's a reason for why the cylinder is here, who you are, what's going on in this world.
And there's tons of depth in this game. I mean, there's the exploration. There is even when I was trying it earlier, you have like a stamina system too, where you have to make sure that you're eating and that kind of thing, right? And
that gets introduced later in the game. It's a little bit like you get the energy pouch and the stomach where you have to feed your creatures. So if you jump there, you can get that egg.
Oh, I can jump up here?
You can just jump up there, and you can grab that egg with the. Now, if you go to where you can see these little behind the other way, you can see that thing there where you can heat the egg if you leave it there.
Oh, so that's another trouble.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, just if you stand there, it's gonna work.
Okay.
There it is.
Cool.
So it's heating the egg, and that would allow you to get another friendly little trouble. You can actually name them. I don't know if it's going to work with a controller now, but I think we're going to just leave it at that.
Okay.
He's gonna name it me. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I hope Justin doesn't get eaten.
I look extra confused. That's me.
The confused trouble.
Yeah. Confused trouble.
So the friendly Trebum, they help you in the. It's not only about getting more of these and allowing your family to grow. It also there's also certain puzzles which will have requirements of how many creatures you need in order to unlock the areas. If we want to see more of the content, you can go to the left of this large mountain, and you're going to see one of these giant serpent creatures, which are called the Trowala.
Am I going the right way? Oh no.
The other way. The other way.
Yeah. Okay.
Other way.
To the left of the mountain, and just keep on going.
Like, just constantly have to describe the direction of everything.
Left. Go left.
Oh,
left.
Sorry.
No,
Wait.
the other way.
This
No.
way.
Yeah.
That way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love dealing with delay.
Amazing.
I'm the most annoying.
Yeah, he's going the opposite way on purpose and naming his friends Trebles.
They're on the adventure with me. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yikes.
So right beneath this colossal creature, there's a sort of entry to a interior, one of what we call the Elder Caves, because there's basically these indoor environments where you can
had been built
explore more. Here you get more introduction to the story of the game and how
that in this large and dangerous
aspects about the game. Now you could have the way you resolved this part of the beginning of the game was getting these 3 specific trebom, but there are other in the outdoor environment which you can get in different ways and see and discover other mutations. And that's the idea, that different people will solve this in different ways.
That's cool.
Ooh.
There's a lot of backstory and history that you've created for this game.
Yeah, well, one of the games we're most well known for is Xenoclash, and a lot of people appreciate the type of surreal worlds that we create, but also the surreal stories that we make for those worlds. So here, for instance, you start getting some puzzles. So you have this strange door with a
ancient statue.
So now it seems kind of was Zelda-like in
and you're getting introduced
puzzle
to this
dungeons.
strange ingredient. So it's all part of the puzzle. We have a compendium for creatures, food. At the moment,
And
we don't have
they got
limitation,
big,
which allows you to add
story section.
creatures
menu.
into your compendium. But you'll notice this area opened up, and if you can go there, one thing you haven't showed that much is throwing water with your trunk. So with the right trigger, you can shoot. If you hold.
Oh, cool! And they join in.
And they join in. So
that's awesome. Another organic piece.
One. Yeah. I think you're
all shooting water.
You should eat that one.
Okay.
You should definitely eat that one. He's slipping down off the stairs. Oh. That's one of the.
I thought he was transforming.
And they're stuck.
There he is.
Nice. So now you are part of the puzzle.
You are now part of the puzzle. So you would have tried to enter that socket before. It wouldn't have opened. So now with the square trebom, you can access to this area, and you find yourself with Gromo, the Elder.
Inside the cave, the trebom found a living.
So the game is.
It had been waiting in this chamber.
Since you're in this kind of alien world, at the beginning we didn't have the narrator in the game. That's something that came later during. This game has been a lot of experimentation. If you looked at the original design document, there's the core concept of the game is there, but we started seeing what things worked and what things didn't work through a process of discovery, because it's very different to anything else that we've ever done, or we really can't draw parallels with other titles. So, for instance, the narrator was something that came later on. He's actually part of the story. He's not just there to help players, but he's an actual character. So, yeah, it's a very unique game, and we're really excited about it.
The game is
yeah, I will definitely very unique. I'll give it that, but I'm not sure if I ever want to play that.
When are you releasing? Do you have a release date yet?
No, we do not have a release date. We have an idea of when we might be able to release, but if I say something, some people will get mad.
Yes, totally understand that from experience.
Let's not upset the internet more than we already have.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really awesome. Can you wish list it, and where will you be able to find it?
Yes, it can be wish listed on the Epic Games Store. We're also launching on PlayStation and Xbox, but I don't think we will wish list there. It will be a simultaneous release, but yeah, we don't know when.
Cool. How can we find out more about the Eternal Cylinder?
I should call out that there's a beta. You just have to register at eternalcylinder.com. And yeah, and if you want to know more about Ace Team, aceteam.cl, we're a Chilean studio, so not .com, CL, to check more about.
Cool.
Eternal Cylinder. And
RIP. Apparently, TwitchCon
Thank you
just
so
got
much
canceled.
for hopping on board, Carlos. It's awesome to see this game. I was so happy that we were able to showcase the trailer the other day, and then actually get to play so people could see exactly what it is, especially since it was blowing up in the chat. And the cylinder did not destroy us today. We're rolling out with the cylinder.
I'm also disappointed that it didn't.
Yeah.
I thought this was one I did well at.
Yeah, there's gonna be memes. We're making them. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to them.
All right, thank you so much. That was the Eternal Cylinder. The game is gorgeous. You did okay. Thanks for naming me one of the troubles. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, okay, this is for the wrap up now.
Game.
Then.
This is really amazing. There's something in the water in Chile.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. We have one trailer that came from New Blood just in that we want to showcase before we head out. Let's roll.
Okay, so just gonna show a trailer at the end. Okay, so it's the Gloomwood thing, right? Yeah. So yeah, I've already seen this trailer. Freaking Watch is like, you've been zen for too long. I literally just stood up like a damn minute ago why that was happening. Why that gameplay was happening. You've been zen too long, I just stood up. God damn it. Watch.
Inside at last, are ya? Welcome.
And that was Gloomwood from New Blood. Thank you so much, New Blood, for dropping an exclusive trailer of the Guerrilla Collective. The Guerrilla Collective is now over. It's been an amazing experience. Thanks for hopping on board, Alex.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And this amazing space at Wilmer Sound. We want to thank all of our partners again: IGN, GameSpot, Valve. I said IGN twice. Kind of funny, of course. ID at Xbox, Astro Razor, everybody who's been working with us, Ryan behind the boards, and Tracy and everyone else. It's been an amazing experience. Now we're going to go back to Greg. Peace.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Guerrilla Collective is done. Over 3 days, we've shown you nearly 90 games from almost 80 teams. On behalf of The Mix, Kinda Funny, and every creator who took part in this event, we cannot thank you enough. We hope you all have a fantastic, not E3, I don't know, what are we calling it? There's just showcases.
Summer Game Fest.
But for real,
from
the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your support, and no, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Okay. I wonder how much time we got here. Okay, so I mean, we might actually have time to fit everything in. So let me go ahead and switch over to the next showcase. I just need to, now I need to actually update the title and stuff, so give me a moment. Because I know this video starts right away, so I don't have much time to... I can't just do it while it's doing the countdown. Okay. I actually think I'm gonna real quick just actually, can I do that? I was gonna say I might end the stream and restart just to get to separate into a new VOD, but I'm pretty sure I have it set on Twitch to deal with the drop disconnect protection. So let me actually turn that off real quick and and then do that. So yeah, I'm gonna drop real quick just to have it split into 2 VODs, and then we'll move on to the next thing.